All right, I'm here. I've just got to hold on one second. Magoo. Oh, yes. Hey, everybody. Good morning. What's happening? What's going on? And here we are. And the show's starting. Hey, it's Friday morning. It's Hal Sparks Mornings Megaworldwide. Thank you for joining me. I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. And I just want to start the show by saying you're forgiven. For any of you that doubted me, um, that not just the part where Trump will get indicted and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see about time served or whether he gets an ankle bracelet and pulls the old man thing. That's immaterial. Um, but the indictment thing, especially the fact that the documents thing is not only stacking up higher than the other problems he has, that the Stormy Daniels case happening first kind of set a precursor to a bunch of people to start like moving towards the exits, and then the classified document stuff was the thing that put them over the edge. It's good times. Anyways, these are the good times. Anyways, anyway, gang, you are forgiven for asking this entire time for this to all happen quickly. Because I have to say, the slow dribble of this stuff over time leading up to this part, and the fact that like the amount of tooth grinding this dickhead is going to have to go through over the next few months. Trump's lawyers have just resigned. Which ones? All of them? Did they all leave? Ugh. So I like. Let's see. It's not so much Trump. It's all his enablers and fluffers. I'm looking forward to seeing justice. Well, that's the thing. Okay, let's go to the chat room. Hi, chat room. Good morning. Welcome. Hi. Glad you could be here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Help the show out. Help us exist. Without you, we don't. We're never going to get to that 1,000 Patreon mark without your help. So it's a regular thing, and you can do it on the yearly or whatever. And you can also just contribute using that's a Cash App thing right there. You do the Cash App challenge. Send me a cup of coffee going, you made me feel better, Hal. What's the price on that? How I made you feel, didn't I? And by the way, weighing that against the times that I piss you off, I think I'm way in the green. So anyways, oh God. So does he get a mugshot this time? Well, probably not. Although, interestingly enough, mugshots are kind of when do you think we're going to get our first like 3D scan mugshot? Because this has been the classic. We started out with they did a drawing of you and put it on a wanted poster, and then enough guys went, that ain't me, that guy's got a mustache, and they're like, fuck, what's that new fangled picture thing we've heard so much about? And then they would do a picture, which, because it took you a half hour and you had to get them to sit still, the picture would just be, a straight on shot, and nobody knew what the fucker looked like from the side. So as long as you kept walking, they never saw you, right? They were like, I think that guy has a mustache. And so at some point, obviously, they switched from give me this one, and this one, and then they started taking pictures of your tattoos. They started categorizing your tattoos because some people personalize themselves even further than their own looks. I may look like my Uncle Fred, but does he have a giant leprechaun sitting on a toilet saying, shit me if you're Irish, that he got while he was hammered at Oktoberfest? No. So it's important to tell the difference between the two. If you look at an old picture of me before I got the shit me I'm Irish leprechaun on a toilet tattoo. Yeah. Anyways, so they obviously moved to the 3 angles. We are getting very close, and there is an app. I forget what I have it on my phone because I've been playing with it lately because it's just now getting to the point where it's becoming useful. That 3D scans objects because I'm nerdy like that. And where is it? Because I have a couple of them. It's not room scan. That's the one that scans the room. I have so many fucking apps. It's embarrassing. Polycam. think that's the one. Anyways, it's an app where you can just walk around something and film it. You can do it to your cat if your cat is sleeping. People do that all the time. And then you go around, and then you can isolate them, and then you can puppet them if you articulate the arms and all that kind of stuff. Will Hillary Clinton visit Trump in prison? Yes, like Clarice Starling. You're not real FBI. So isn't that the one who calls him the man? Yeah. So, anyways, Judge Cannon is getting the arraignment, not necessarily the case. She will probably have to recuse herself from the case. The arraignment part, where she decides bail or something, that will be. I mean, that's kind of self-evident. She can't do much damage there. Well, yeah, I think she will. I think she'll have to, and I think there'll be a motion from the prosecutors to have her step aside. And and it's not specific to the district closest to his house as far as the trial goes. So Trump can be can Trump be forced to retire forever? That's a good question too. Retire forever from what? Being an ex game show host, social media, microblogging gadfly who whines about everything? No, because that's not a job that you retire from. That's a hobby you have till the end. So, yeah, there's so much to cover. So much to cover. Oh boy, oh Shevitz. So let's go. Hold on, let's get out of here. Where he's whining in the thing. Okay, so by the way, Michael J. Fox has been near the top of the trend this morning. And God love him, just in general. It's his birthday, and apparently in this scene, they softened the stunt when he grabs his shirt and does the whole thing. That other shot was shot later, but the first part, because Eric Stoltz had been too physical and actually hit, like really shoved Biff, and he banged his shoulder. Anyways, and so they had to go easy on him for that first part. So that part where he's like, "Ha!" You can watch Michael J. Fox trying not to hurt his shoulder when he grabs his jacket. It's really that should tell you enough about the dude. He's a sweetheart. Also, I have to I gotta say, Secret of My Success is one of my go-to feel-good movies. There's a lot of Michael J. Fox's repertoire that you can watch and feel like, oh, I feel better after that. And that's a great thing to have as part of your career. But interestingly enough, Secret of My Success, and maybe it's because I left Kentucky at 14 and went to Chicago, and left Chicago at 18 and went to LA, that I'm used to the sort of little fish in a big pond, moving to the big city storyline in my own life, that it had a direct reflection, if not because it was in the area of finance, I have no relation to it. But the shitty apartment with the people next door, and the rats, and taking an iron, all that stuff, yeah, that definitely resonated. So yeah. Good dude. Doc Hollywood, sweet film, agreed. So, anyways, happy birthday, Michael J. Fox. The one thing I can say, I've never met Michael, but having worked with Leah Thompson and been around her and met some of the other cast members that he's worked with over the years, the resounding opinion is that he's a lovely human being, and that's fantastic. That the vast majority of people that everyone I've ever met, for the record, I've not it almost makes it sound like there is another story out there, but there just isn't. He's just a lovely dude. Todd Marinovich is trending. Good for Todd. Because of sports stuff, sportsy things. Cool. We love sports ball around here. Top Secret, of course, is trending because it's Val Kilmer's second best film, after Real Genius. Let's see. Yeah. So again, there are a lot of people who are coming to Trump's defense. Um, okay, wait. It's 34 felony count. That's the earlier one. Okay. That's from his other it's from the New York case. Yeah. I'm amazed that some of the people that are rushing to his defense. Geraldo Rivera is once again urging President Biden to pardon Donald Trump in exchange for former President Trump dropping out of the race to the White House. Biden should pardon him for any and all federal allegations. No, no. Okay, first of all, no. Secondly, that would just further the conspiracy theory that this isn't about him actually stealing top secret documents. This would further the thought that, oh, you just did this to get rid of him. So I'll do these trumped up charges and then I'll offer to pardon you if you drop out. I'll give you a pardon if you drop out and leave me alone. Like, no, fuck that dude. Get out of here. How stupid. See, I'd like to remind everybody there's been Republicans that have testified against Donald Trump. It's been Trump appointees, judges that rule. Well, yeah, and the Barr stuff is kind of amazing. We'll get to that in a moment. The good liars coming out. Let's see. When you got a former president named Trump, it's okay to have a legal home email server that's unsecured and susceptible. Okay, this is the and by the way, this is that statement from Comey that he was hoping to recreate. Rep Claudia, whoever. Joe is asking, where's the money? Well, maybe you should look in the trunk of the Corvette right alongside the top secret documents you kept. Aljo was fighting to hold the bride guy. Yeah, that's what he is. That's what he's doing. Yeah, he's got $5 million in the trunk of his car. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. You know what's interesting? I don't know why you guys don't have control of the entire government with thinking like that. Legal problems, dramatic turn for the worse. Sydney's going to be talking about tonight. The ex-president has been charged in crimes against the American people. Sorry, I'm just fucking with them. I just love that, so since Rupert Murdoch has decided fuck Donald Trump after all the trouble he's been through carrying this dude's balls, and then he attacks Fox and all this kind of stuff, is like, look, we dare to report the news semi-normally a couple of times, and now you're up our ass sending your idiots to give us death threats. Piss off. But in the UK and in the United States, Murdoch's papers aren't turning on Trump; they're just simply reporting on him now. But the UK ones are like, I mean, the Australian ones are still kind of covering for him a little bit, which is funny. It depends on which ones, obviously. Why would he have top secret documents? Former advisor David Miller says Donald Trump will use his indictment to his advantage. He'll try. UFOs. I'm sorry. Just a plane coming in for a landing. Well, same thing. I don't know what it is. Do you know it's a plane? No, not officially. I don't have the tail number. Well, then it's unidentified, isn't it? Sure. Is it flying? It's hovering, I think, maybe flying. It's above the earth. Aerial phenomenon. We'll go with UAP. When it lands, there you go. 3 great performances in reverse order. Top secret, real genius, Mark Twain. No, he's had multiple great performances, and him in Heat is not only is he awesome in Heat, but his reloading of his machine gun in the big shootout on the street. They show that to recruits, apparently, to show them how to properly load and reload, unload, like take your magazine out and reload quickly, properly. Like, it's exact technique. Like, that's the shot. Here's what you're trying to do. This is the best you can do. When you're in that situation, this is what you do. And then you're back to firing. And that, like, they literally show it to people and go, nailed it. And I blame the Doors for his health problems because Oliver Stone is an ass. Trump possessed and plans to share war plans. Yeah, that's the stuff we've been hearing about. Super fun. Oh, it's so good. Uh-oh, UFO, top secret UFO. We're fighting with the UFOs. Yeah, that's we're apparently you can fight off aliens with cat lasers. You just make them go like this, and the UFOs will just chase it all around the room or whatever. And we're all we need is some alien nip. And yeah, top secret footage, firmament of Earth under the sea. Under the sea. This is the Arctic ice wall. You can't go past here. This is where the Earth ends. Uh-huh. Because no one has ever swum up next to ice underwater. Please tell me he just goes straight through it. I'm trying to chip through, and then a black helicopter lands underwater and grabs me. Dude is literally fishing. He's got a net. Is he taking samples of the firmament? That's not ice. That's not the Arctic ice wall. That's the fucking sky, okay? Okay? Y'all understand? That's the fucking sky. The sky goes down into the water where you can't see it anymore, and the government keeps this from you because Satan. The Lord knows and carries all great beyond all greatness, and the Lord knows, and the Lord is is powerful beyond measure. Of course, black helicopters can keep you from finding the edge of the earth, but the Lord will protect you and carry you. Uh-oh, alien. There's his big alien face. Right there he is. He's peeking out of the trash. Oh my God, it's a tentacle. Get out of there. Oh my God, it's a tentacle. Get out of there. Oh my God. Apparently they're not transformers. Apparently aliens just drive trucks. Translation: eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do. We saw last night flying over the house. We saw a UFO and it had a license plate. Ban 1. BANONE. Well, you boys just rest yourself and, don't go home. And don't go take a squirt. Don't play with yourself. It wouldn't look nice on my highway. Aliens doing their thing. It's a War Pony top secret. This is that's the moving house. It's the crawling house. I leak top secret. Okay, my honest reaction as I leak top secret government documents on 4chan. It's comedy. Okay. Top secret UFO project declassified. Very exciting. Here's Glenn Greenwald, PSA to all in the Arctic waters. A top secret Russian agent taking the form of a deceptively adorable, friendly beluga whale remains at large and on the move. Approach and engage with the utmost caution. What?
We do have video of the
Copenhagen. A beluga whale found with a tight harness that appeared to be Russian-made has raised the alarm of Norwegian officials and prompted speculation that the animal may have come from a Russian military facility. Yeah, we've known a bunch of different militaries use mammalian aquatic life, more often dolphins, but sure, why not a beluga whale, to do all kinds of shit. Surveillance, they turn them into bombs, they train them to,
this nefarious Kremlin spy. And like I said, I want to warn you, I think it's important before you watch this video to be on guard. Because he's incredibly cute. He's very...
Okay, this is the Tucker Carlson methodology of take something that's patently obvious and normal and make it look extraordinary and that you should be embarrassed to talk about it in its normalcy, and the idea that you recognize that that's a thing somehow it turns you into that means you are saying that is the biggest threat on the planet, and that's what we have to wear. Tune in for more nut buggery. Good times. Deep state. President Trump is pounding the campaign trail hard in Ohio or in Iowa tonight. Watch, June. Yeah, he's totally pounding it.
Numbers down, they'll leave us alone. We have to have fair, free, strong, powerful elections.
To go with our flock of seagulls meets Wolverine comb over.
And we have to have borders. And if you don't have those two things, you don't have a country. You take the 5 worst presidents in the history.
No, it's the same shit. Yeah, he's hitting it hard. He's bringing all. He's playing the hits. He's getting it all out there. It's all. So thank God we haven't heard this before. It's so exciting, riveting, wouldn't you say, chat room? There's just so much to it. It's my God. How Thor headline has multiple errors. Which one? And I ran so far away. I didn't even play GTA. You're not going to have a country. Where's it going? Yes. Well, that's the thing. The sedition's going to get, yeah. Is it Christmas? It might be. Glad you noticed the bad. How can you not? Good Lord. Yeah. The hard part is, you know why we notice, and Andrew's kind of on it, is because he's so goddamn boring otherwise. It's just so fucking dull. It's the same garbage. Yeah. It's just, City Pandemic. Okay, this is, Beyond Secret Texan. There's a guy. Uh-oh. There's a bird following me. Oh, dear. Oh, this is the helicopter, the thing that looks like a helicopter, with no, looks like the cockpit of a helicopter sliced off, floating around. That's what this image is, or whatever, I've seen it blown up. Which, by the way, really does look like a human prototype of something. It doesn't, you get really far away from the alien shit with that and start going, some nut job has ejected himself into the atmosphere to try out something. Clinton is not charged for obstruction. By the way, Bongholio is freaking the fuck out. Like, this is the end of the world. This is the end of America. America's doomed and dead because America can't live without Donald Trump. America, you were shit until Trump showed up. Until a second-generation rich kid, asshole New Yorker who hosted a game show became the head of the Republican movement for a short while, lost the popular vote, and squeaked by the Electoral College. Until that happened, America, the fuck have you ever done? World War II. Eat shit.
We got to get rid of people like this. Jim Comey, who signed on, obviously.
Jim Comey isn't. They did get rid of him. Remember that whole scandal, stupid?
With the woke agenda because he's weak. This is one of the most disgusting human beings on planet Earth. A man who has done more damage
to the
United States and its institutions than I'd argue anyone else alive right now.
Well, yeah, but only because his statement about the Hillary Clinton email server, that there was more there that helped get Trump elected, was the cause of the damage. Don't you love it when somebody's accidentally right about something? A complex, Jeff Carlson, the market switch, where a complex web of at least 20 companies, most of which are LLCs, created while Joe was president, was vice president, run by Hunter's business friends. Protected by oversight house. Okay. Protected by Rep. Comer says he saw the multi-page document, describes a scheme involving complex bank transfers, and previously shown by Comer's oversight committee involving millions being passed through LLCs and accounts owned by various Biden family members. No, it doesn't. It does not show any of that. As a matter of fact, they've seen the financial documents. If they had seen these $5 million payments or this money come in someplace, from the other ways that, because ultimately, whatever happens, you can set up all the bank accounts you want. You got to get the money somehow. You got to get it to you. So you either, especially if it's transferred, if it's not in giant bricks of cash, which that has never been the allegation, and the big bricks of cash that were the $5 million payment I showed yesterday and the day before, that was in relation to the head of Burisma at the time, Hunter Biden working there, trying to bribe tax officials in Ukraine, who at that time were sock puppets of the Russian government. And they actually caught the money and threw like 4 people in jail, 3 tax guys and 1 other Ukrainian officials. And the bribe never happened. They seized the money. And it's exactly $5 million, which is where this number comes from and where this guy gets this number in his head in this document that later, and the reason it didn't go anywhere. Specifically, that's why. It's 100% where it comes from. This dude was not doling out $5 million to everybody that he was trying to get to leave, to get Shokin, the guy who wasn't going after him, kicked out of the prosecutor's office so that they would put in somebody who would, and that led to him leaving the country. It is exactly backwards and hilarious. Says he saw the multi-page document. It describes the scheme involving complex financial and previously shown by Comer's oversight committee involving millions being passed through LLC. No, it doesn't. They're protecting the office. That's been the animating principle since LBJ. And you, have lived, Chad, under that, in the soft bosom of that protection in the safety of America ever since? Everybody's bad. That's all they do. All right. Can you tell me you're a sock puppet account without telling me you're a sock puppet account, or having whoever runs you tell me? Government officials sworn to indefinite secrecy to view UFO footage. No, what is this?
Sometime in 2020.
Top secret. View top secret. Sworn to indefinite. This is from the Rebel News. And it's government officials sworn to. Oh, hold on. 1 second. Because I think in Rebel News in Canada. Hold on, let me try to get to this.
Sometime in 2020, mere months after the World Health Organization declared a novel pathogen, now known as the COVID-19 virus, as an international emergency, the government of Canada,
so it's Canada,
led by Procurement Minister Anita Anand, was
it was led by Justin Trudeau, but
working behind the scenes with big pharma oligarchs to secure millions of doses of in-development vaccines for Canadians. And those contracts, they're top secret. But we now have the list of at least 35 of the government officials who signed non-disclosure agreements to view them.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tamara Ugolini here, reporting for Rebel News, and I'm going to
from a Ramada
remind you that the push to get every
Ramada, the official hotel of Rebel News, and Canadian upset Canadians
being vaccinated with at least 2 doses of the various novel, still in clinical trials, COVID-19 vaccine.
Why various? If you're gonna do a giant conspiracy where you're keeping everybody's, under wraps forever about it, why not just give it all to one big company? Why spread it out over multiple ones? Because that way it makes it sound like you're just trying to find the most effective one, and you know that you can't be sure right away, and you're in a big fucking hurry. So you're writing out these contracts to these multiple companies, and they're all basically probably favored nations, but you'd want them secret from each other in case one of them happened to say, we'll take less, and the taxpayer benefits from that, but you don't want the other ones to try and compensate or deny you or try to take back anything, saying you paid them less than, you paid them, or you paid them more than you paid us because we agreed to less. Now we want to charge you because we went out on a limb and blah, blah, blah. So you keep that quiet. Occam's rubber mallet being what it is.
Was the largest mass vaccination.
Yeah, don't care. Yes, we know. And again, just I scream and freak out. It's very weird. Mr. Trump. The only time I'm used to Mr. Trump being said is when Michael Cohen does it. Romney says Trump brought these charges upon himself. By all appearances, the Justice Department and Special Counsel have exercised due care, affording Mr. Trump the time and opportunity to avoid charges that would not generally have been afforded to others. Yes. Yeah. Mr. Trump. I love how, and Mr. Trump, they're like, it's President Trump, you fuck. Mr. Trump says who? Mr. Trump then said the document was classified, and a woman in the room replied, now we have a problem. According to the person familiar with the recording, oh boy. Oh, the CNN recording stuff is coming out, and this is so good. Trump expected to surrender on Tuesday after indictment in documents case. Judge Eileen Cannon, who Trump appointed to the bench in 2020, is scheduled to preside over his first appearance. She won't end up doing the case, because they will ask for a change of judge because we don't want an appointee. We want somebody that wasn't appointed by Biden or her. That seems to be the most reasonable thing. And it'll end up being a Bush appointee in Florida. And then they'll go, the rhinos are coming for us. Here's the latest. Initial appearance face, which Trump is expected to appear in federal court, blah, blah, blah. Trump is golfing this morning at his club in Bedminster. He's been seen with a small shovel near Ivana's grave with Carlos Jimenez of Florida, according to a person familiar at the club, rallying behind Trump, adopting his false narrative about the indictment. Not surprising. Two lawyers. Oh, this is what you guys were talking about. Two of former President Donald Trump's lawyers who had been engaging directly with the Justice Department have left his team, according to a social media post by Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump. And a statement from the lawyers, James Trusty and John Rowley, left Trump's legal team a day after he was indicted on 7 federal counts related to his handling of government documents at his Florida. Oh, this is so good. It's so good. It's so good. Show more. For purposes of the For purposes of fighting the greatest witch hunt of all time, now moving to the Florida courts, I will be represented by Todd Blanche, Esquire, and a firm to be named later. Honestly, it could be because he doesn't have one at all, or because they're literally creating a fake firm. Let's call it Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Fuck it. Mr. Trump wrote in the post, I want to thank Jim Trusty and John Rowley for their work, but they were up against a very dishonest, corrupt, evil, and sick group of people. What did that change? The likes of which has not been seen before. We will be announcing additional attorneys in the coming days. In a joint statement put out shortly, it's been an honor to have spent the last year defending him, and we know he will be vindicated. All right. On Thursday night, within 2 hours, the legal team being held briefing the indictment. Mr. Trusty was one of the faces on cable news defending him. Mr. Trusty and Mr. Rowley were two of the top 3 lawyers. Two people familiar with the matter said Mr. Trusty and Mr. Rowley had repeatedly complained about working with Mr. Epstein. This is Boris Epstein is the reason why everybody's kicking out. And Epstein's still, I think, showing up occasionally on Steve Bannon's War Room, but he's the one screwing the pooch. He's apparently, he's the Sean Spicer of this issue, where he's whispering bullshit into Trump's ear to kind of placate and make him feel good when it's not true. And in a legal situation, insisting you have a lawyer that bullshits you is not good strategy. I'm just saying. In theory. In their statement, Mr. Trezor said the case's shift to Florida made it, quote, a logical moment for us to step aside and let others carry the case through to completion. They said before yelling, smoke him if you got him, and pulling a ripcord and jumping out of the plane somewhere over the Andes with a suitcase full of money. Former President Trump says the truth posed whether the 2 lawyers have represented him. Okay, during the former Vice President Mike Pence, who announced, said the indictment would be terribly divisive. Yeah, imagine how it would have been if they were successful with that gallows they built. How divisive that would have been, dummy. There's Romney's statement. That's Eileen Cannon. Ugh, wouldn't it be? Here's the thing. I don't have a lot of hope for this, but considering that, like, in a couple of specific cases, even Amy Coney Barrett didn't side with Trump in a couple ways. Can you imagine if she remands him without bail? Like, just it's not, I don't guess it would happen, but just entertaining the gloriousness of her suddenly just doing something normal. Like, I don't know, the guidelines say that if it's classified documents, you either have to post, $500 million in actual assets and prove the assets are yours and don't belong to a foreign entity. It's right here. I don't know. Somebody, you tightened the rules on this, and that no bail, even if you do come up with it. And that's signed Donald Trump. Shit. Well, I'd love to let you go. I really do. I appreciate the job, but you've got to go to. It says right here. It says you go to jail. It says you're gonna go to jail. The DC jail. That's weird. And you have to bunk with a Jan 6er. Oh, I see. You wrote this when you thought Antifa you were gonna use this against Antifa, and you're like, oh, we'll put them in the cells with the Jan. That's funny. And now you're gonna share. That's funny. Okay. Well, that's I mean, we really can't have a statement from either attorneys. You wrote this, so tack. President Biden and his White House are determined to let the Trump drama play out without commenting, convinced it is better to be seen as governing. Biden is about to leave the White House for a day-long visit to North Carolina, where he'll visit a community college for an event on workforce training, and later the Army base Fort Liberty. Liberty, where he'll meet with service members, because it's no longer Fort Bragg under Joe Biden, which is a cool thing. And this is the part that's kicking his ass. Trump was recorded saying he knew he had a classified document. This is, and here's the thing. It wasn't even, you could almost expect that it was like people at Mar-a-Lago who were like, oh my God, that's Trump. And they have their phone going and they're listening to his conversation because they want to get a selfie and they don't realize they're on video, and they recorded the whole thing and he's yammering like a dickhead like he does. This was on tape with people who were writing an autobiography. Remember when he was doing that parade of people like, I want so many books about me that like no one has ever seen before. This is okay. So former President Donald J. Trump declared at a meeting in July 2021, 6 months after leaving the White House, that a document in front of him was, quote, classified and, quote, highly confidential, according to a person briefed on the matter. That meeting, with people helping his former chief of staff with a book, Meadows, screwing the pooch again, has been previously reported, but new details of Mr. Trump's specific comments appear to demonstrate explicitly that he was aware that materials he had taken with him from the White House included classified information. The recording is expected to be a key piece of evidence in the case against him that the special counsel Jack Smith brought this week, with 7 counts related to his possession of reams Moon River of classified material. Mr. Trump also indicated that he couldn't show the document to people in front of him, many, if not all of whom didn't have security clearances and would allow them to see sensitive government material, and added, as president, I could have declassified them now I can't. As president, I could have declassified them, now I can't, according to the person briefed on the matter, who was not authorized to discuss the matter publicly. So he's like, I could have declassified this when I was president, and then that would give me the ability to show it to you, but I can't right now. And again, this is why people think he's bullshitting, but it doesn't matter because he's aware that he doesn't have the ability that he didn't declassify all the stuff he took with him just by magically taking it with him. That's dead. He's aware that he can't do that. He's aware that he didn't do that. Hilarious. According to a person briefed on the matter who was not authorized to discuss the matter publicly, Mr. Trump then said that the document was, quote, classified, and a woman in the room replied, now we have a problem, according to the person familiar with the recording. Many details of what is said on the recording were reported earlier by CNN, which also first reported on the existence of the recording. A spokesman for Mr. Trump did not immediately respond to an email about the new information. Lottie. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. The transcript demonstrates that Mr. Trump was not only aware he had sensitive material, but had it with him at his club at Bedminster, New Jersey, where the meeting took place, and that he knew he no longer had the power to declassify material. Mr. Trump's meeting was with 2 people helping Mark Meadows, the former chief of staff, with a memoir about his tenure. You know, the French don't have a word for memoir or tenure. In the White House, Casablanca. Aides to Mr. Trump also attended, none of whom still have clearance. Let's just be abundantly clear. At the time, Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, whom Mr. Trump had appointed, had been a subject of multiple media portraits describing as pressing back against an erratic president in the final months of the presidency. He went on a tear about Milley. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers.
Dumps. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. You know what the great thing about this is that he talks this dumb all the time. If they had like dressed this up to make his language sound more adult or presidential, people would go, that he never said that. But isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. Is exactly what he would say. Like, that's verbatim. Said at one point, papers could be heard rustling, and then Mr. Trump began appearing to point to a specific document saying, look, this was him. At another point, he said, this was the Defense Department and him. He described something in front of him as like highly confidential and maintained it was really General Milley who wanted to attack Iran. In fact, Milley cautioned against such a move. By the way, I've talked about this before. The Pentagon always is drafting up battle schemes and plans for countries that are problematic and even exercises on ones that aren't. Let's say they become a pivot point for another hostile power or something. And the idea that they wouldn't have like 20 fucking different optional plans to attack Iran, considering its attitude towards Israel. And by the way, the attack Iran after it attacks Israel, or after it attacks one of our ships, or after it's people who are harassing our naval ships in international waters opened fire and killed a soldier. What will we do? What's the play out? Is it full carpet bomb? Do you just hit a button and fuck it? Or do you actually go, okay, we have a measured response, and then if we do this, they'll do this, and if they do this, then we'll do this. That's logical, adult shit. And he's so amazed that adult shit exists that he thinks that Milley showing him any of those plans in any form, based on any reaction or proactive measure by the Pentagon about the threat that Iran poses in the region and throughout the world, he thinks that that's Milley trying to instruct him to do it, even though he asked to see that plan. All right. At one point, Mr. Trump was interrupted, and a woman in the room could be heard on the recording referencing Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, whose email server Mr. Trump used as an attack line during the 2016 campaign. Mr. Trump said Ms. Clinton would send material, quote, to Anthony Weiner, that pervert, referring to the former congressman who was married to an aide to Mrs. Clinton. By the way, Mr. Trump, a friend of Jeffrey Epstein's, who only complained about Epstein trying to fuck teenagers in his presence when it was one of his big members at Mar-a-Lago. He didn't give a shit anywhere else. As president, I could have declassified them. Now I can't. Mr. Trump was recorded saying, according to the person familiar with its contents, he then reiterated something was, quote, classified as he and one of the women in the room talked over each other, according to the person familiar with the contents. Isn't that interesting? It's so cool, Mr. Trump said, adding, you probably almost didn't believe me, but now you believe me. Anthony Coley, Merrick Garland's spokesman until earlier this year, urged the Justice Department to petition the unseal of the indictment before the weekend to counter the kind of backlash that followed the search of Mar-a-Lago. You can't just let Trump and his allies distort and mischaracterize the investigation, he said. They have to get it out there fast within the next 24 hours. One of the biggest questions today, will the Justice Department ask the court to unseal the Trump indictment, making public the details of the allegations, or allow the former president and his allies to continue to frame the case as a politically motivated witch hunt? The spokesman for Jack Smith, the special counsel, has not commented so far. It was a familiar drill for the, and this is the same shit. This is another, but in a more narrative form. Former President Donald J. Trump was gathered with his core political advisors in the office near his poolside cottage at his club in Bedminster, New Jersey, when his phone rang about 7 p.m. on Thursday. On the line, according to two people with knowledge of the call, was one of his lawyers, informing him that he had been indicted for the second time in less than 3 months. Sorry, I'm trying to read this like real news. Quit it. I'm a professional newsman. Unlike the first indictment, in a state court in Manhattan related to allegations he had paid hush money to a porn star during the 2016 election, the current charges were federal and stemmed from his conduct just before leaving office and for roughly 18 months after. Mr. Trump, always compartmentalizing, immediately moved to a political reaction. At 7:21 p.m., he did what he used to do so often when he was president. He personally programmed the chyrons on every news channel in the country. He broke the news of his own indictment, drafting and then sending a 3-part statement. He said pages, a 3-page statement. and what he meant was paragraph. But whatever. His head is full of spongy goodness. All right. On his social media network, Trump Social. That soon interrupted the nighttime news on Fox News, MSNBC, and CNN. We all watched that happen. That's true. Former president posted a screed against the Biden administration, but buried within his attacks on Democrats were pertinent details. Not only that he had been indicted, but also that he had been summoned to appear at a Miami courthouse on Tuesday afternoon. A studio van was brought to Bedminster so one of his lawyers could go on television. Another Trump lawyer, James Trusty, soon went on CNN to describe a few of the charges and recounted his client's reaction. He's thought about it, Mr. Trusty said. He said, "This is just a sad day. I can't believe I've been indicted." And then he was fired moments later. You can't say that he's sad. Trump doesn't get sad. He only gets angry. There's no S in sad. It's M. M as in mad. Mr. Trusty went on, "Those are kind of my summary words of what he had to say, but at the same time, he immediately recognized that the historic nature of this is crossing the Rubicon." For days, Trump's team had been casting about for information about his indictment after 3 of his lawyers met with the Justice Department and said, "Please don't indict him. Don't indict him. Do not indict him. Whatever you do, don't indict the guy. Don't indict him." And then he got indicted. And then they got fired, except for one of them. I think the woman, the female, the hot one that he clearly keeps on, not because of her legal advice, and not saying that she wouldn't give any. By the way, I'm not going to participate in his sexism. I'm just going to tell you what that asshole is thinking. You know what I'm saying? All right. After speculation intensified about the head of the Justice Department's notification of the indictment, Mr. Trump's team pre-taped a video of the former president reacting to, "Oh, yes, we haven't looked at that yet." I don't want to save that to the afternoon, though. I don't. Is that okay with you guys? I don't normally. We got to look at, we have to look at the Mark Levin flip out, because I saw a sliver of it and I'm like, no, this is too good. I gotta watch the whole thing with you guys this afternoon. But the Trump video, the freak out of it, it's got to be. Let's see. Hold on. Trump video responds indictment something. Let's see. Let's see. Find this real quick. I know it's on Trump SoCal, but whatever. And people are playing stuff of him whining from 2016 like it's new. Yeah, and some people seem to think this is new. This is not. This is from 2016, but some people have put this out there like they're looking at chunks of it. Well, hell, I'll just go to the Truth Social page, because I've got, hold on, let me reload. Oh, it's so good. And I ran from Wolverine. All right. Oh no. We don't have time for lighting. I have to get this out. I have to tell everyone. Oh no. They people, I'll hold still. Let me know when we're rolling. Let me know when we're rolling. The Marxist thugs, shit, one more time. The Marxist thugs and, fuck it. Hold on. Yeah.
I had to beat off.
No, the Marxist, here you go. So can we put this in the teleprompter? Because
somebody like that can write good.
Absolutely. So the Marxist
dumps. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
That's not what I'm saying.
Very sadly, we're a nation in decline.
Yeah, declining unemployment numbers, declining poverty, declining illegal immigration, declining number of manufacturing jobs leaving the country, declining number of lead pipes in use, declining presentation of pollutants by chemical companies in our atmosphere via the removal of regulations, declining number of former friends of Epstein being in the White House. Yeah, sure. Nation in decline.
And yet, They go after a popular president, a president that got more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country.
And still lost. I have to say, can we go, Donald Trump got more votes than any sitting president in history and still lost. Hashtag and still lost. Every time that he says that, there needs to be hashtag and still lost. For fuck's sake. Still lost. He's still lost. You know how much of a loser you have to be to get more. And by the way, the reason he got more votes than any sitting president in history, besides the fact that population grows, is because mail-in voting works. Every time he says this, every fucking time he says this, he's admitting that mail-in votes were real. That all the votes that he got are equally real. No matter, that's what he's saying. Whether they were mailed in or done in person, or in the case of people from the villages in Florida, both. So yes, more votes than any sitting president, and Biden kicked his ass.
By far.
By far, because of COVID, because we were all home, and they passed out all these ballots. I didn't even want half these votes. I don't think they're real. I think it's bullshit.
And did much better the second time in the election than the first.
Well, and arguably your opponent did 3 times better than the person you were up against the last time, who also beat you in the popular vote.
And they go after him on
him. Who are we talking about? Him? Who's him? Who him? Who him? Dum dum.
A boxer's hoax, just like the Russia hoax.
Oh, so it's not a hoax. I see. So since the Russia thing wasn't a hoax, this isn't a hoax either. You just use hoax as like a placeholder word. It's like a tick. It's like your generation's version of like. Okay, boomer.
And all of the others. This has been going on for 7 years. They can't stop because it's election.
Because you keep breaking laws.
Interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. I may be innocent trans. What will keep me out of jail? I hear you can just say, my pronouns are innocent / man. Will that work? I understand. Somebody open the border so I can run out of this fucking place.
They had the Mueller hoax, the Mueller report.
So Mueller didn't actually do an investigation? Oh, I see. You're calling it a hoax because he wasn't allowed to look at your finances. Maybe he should have. I think you're right.
And that came out, no collusion after 2.5 years. That was
no, it didn't.
Set up by Hillary Clinton and Democrats. But this is what they do. This is what they do so well. If they would,
yeah, they are good at it.
Here I am like an idiot.
It's amazing to me that that the party out of power always seems to kick your ass. Like, what? I gotta say, like, at some point, was Donald Trump, in the estimation of his followers, if you boil down what they're saying, the result of his presidency was that Democrats now run everything. Even industries that they were adversarial, even hostile to before. Industry, media, corporations, we own all of it. Democrats, we control everything.
Devote their energies to honesty and integrity would be a lot better for our country. They could do a lot better. They could do a lot of great things.
Like an infrastructure bill getting passed, or getting out of Afghanistan, or no?
But when you look at what's happened to our country in the last 3 years, we were energy independent.
Do I have to?
We had a strong military that wasn't woke. We were doing so well. We were respected all over the world. We got the biggest tax cuts in history, biggest regulation cuts in history.
Again, he's going into sales mode. Motherfucker, you've been indicted.
And what do? You have a president where an election was taken, got more votes than any sitting president in history by far. Never anything even close.
So you're doing that whole like repeat the lie and hopefully it seeds on sand, dude.
And they come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot. But we're leading against
the Republicans. Aren't you a Republican?
Biden by a lot, a tremendous amount.
Tremendous.
And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is
okay. Lawfare. Stupid. Lawfare. The phrase you were going to use is lawfare. Mike Pillow mentions it. You've used it before. It's not warfare. That's not what it's called. Warfare is what's happening when Russia attacks Ukraine and you don't give a fuck.
A lot, a tremendous amount.
Watch.
And we went up to a level that they figure the way they're going to stop us is by using what's called warfare. And that's what it is. This is warfare for the law.
Jesus Christ. He doesn't even realize he said warfare. He thinks he said lawfare. What I say? What I fucking say?
And we can't let it happen.
No.
We can't let it happen.
It's already. Hey, stupid. It's already happening.
Country is going to hell.
Oh no.
And they come after Donald Trump, weaponizing the Justice Department, weaponizing the FBI. We can't let this continue to go on because it's ripping our country to shreds.
No. And by the way, if the country's going to hell, who cares if it's ripped to shreds? What are they doing? Shredding hell? Fuck me.
We have such big problems. And
and by the way, he means you and I, not him. It's all us and this motherfucker. When he's on top, it's I, me, I, me, I, me. I, me, I know everything. I know the best people. I'm in heaven. The minute he gets fucking one taste of FAFO, it's we, us, we, us. They're coming after me because they want to me. They're attacking me because they really want to attack you, us. This is our us, right? You're with me, right? You guys are with me, right? Where the fuck is everybody going?
this shouldn't be one of them. It's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax, just like...
It's a hoax. He borders on... well...
Russia, just like the fake dossier was a hoax. You saw the Durham report. You saw the Mueller report. It was all a big hoax. You had 2 impeachments, and they lost, and we won. And we had tremendous...
No, you didn't. You lost. You got impeached. You just didn't get removed from office because the Senate ran interference for you, dummy. You got impeached twice. You were impeached. On the merits.
Support. But that was a hoax and a scam. And now they're doing it again. It's just a continuation, 7 years, even after I'm out.
Sir, this is a Bob Evans.
But it's called election interference.
Because that's what they're doing. They're interfering in an election. And that's how they do. I want a do-over. Basically, it's like you're playing ball in the street and a limb gets in the way and you totally would have won kickball, except you kicked it into the tree and it flew through the tree and smashed a window and everybody else ran because you did it and you're like, do-over.
They're trying to destroy your reputation so they can win an election.
No. Well, it's interesting. That's an interesting phrase. Because the idea is that they want to throw, everybody else is saying Democrats are trying to throw them in jail so they can win an election, right? But notice how he's saying destroy a reputation, because the legal part of it aside, he's aware that the porn star payments aren't going to lose him any votes with his people. He's aware that the Georgia phone call isn't going to lose him any votes. But his reputation is on the line with these classified documents cases. If people find out how slapdash and fuck around he was, he knows it's going to do damage with his base. That's it. a unique statement from this man.
That's just as bad as doing any of the other things that have been done over the last number of years, and especially during the 2020 election.
Well, I don't know. I mean, trying to ruin your reputation when you used to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein, it seems like a low-rung attempt, especially considering, you know, how some of your supporters feel. But I mean, honestly, sending votes through a satellite to Spain to be counted in Spanish before they are returned to the United States and falsely printed on Chinese paper with bamboo and panda jizz in it. That's way worse. I'm just going to say, that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
So I just want to tell you, I'm an innocent man. I did
I just want to tell you this. It's not true, but I want to say
nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years. It would be wonderful if we could devote our full time to making America great again. And that's exactly what we did. But now, again, our country is in decline. We're a failing nation.
I do think he has a future being the next Pat Robertson, though. I can see a future where Donald Trump, after Jim Bakering his way through 8 years, ends up with some sort of bullshit televangelist gig where he just kind of dodders and they give him a different co-host every so often where he just sits there and goes, I don't know if you've seen this, but UFOs over Israel, it's a thing. We'll be back right after this word for gold and pancake batter for preppers.
And this is what they do. I'm an innocent man.
I'm an innocent man. I'm said innocent. I've said I'm innocent. Why do I have to go to court? I said I didn't do it. That's usually enough. In New York, for years, I would say, I didn't do it. And they go, okay, rich guy, fuck off. And then now, all of a sudden, because I wanted to be president, there's like consequences or something.
We will prove that again. 7 years of proving it, and here we go again. Very unfair, but that's the way it is. I just want to thank everybody. We are doing something very special for our country. We're putting America first. I always put America first, and that's why we were in a position. Unfortunately, that position is no longer valid because they've
Yeah, because all your fixes were temporary and actually made the problem worse, like Title 42.
done such a poor job. But we're in a position where we're going to make America great again.
Yes, we're going to use Marianne Williamson's economic U-turn idea, where we're headed towards rising wages and lowering unemployment, moving manufacturing jobs back to the United States, eliminating long supply chains, especially to countries like China, and moving to renewables so that we're not reliant on oil markets for the rest of it, so that ingenuity and the intelligence and productivity of the American people is the predicate on which we have value as a country, not some goop under our fucking feet. You know, we're headed in that direction. We've got to turn that around. We got to do a complete U-turn. Trump Williamson 24. Please send money immediately to the legal fund. I don't need campaign funds. This is all bullshit anyways.
I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly. Thank you very much.
Hopefully very, very quickly.
Campaign.
No. Hold on. Go away. No to do. Look at all these fucking shit. Like, look what it offers as follow-up on Truth Social. When you go on Truth Social, Diablo 4, I don't have a problem with that. I'm for it. Nitro Cross, that's whatever. That's fine. But look at these right here. Time travel tech. What the fuck? Bongholio, new details, latest details on Trump indictment roundtable from the Rubin report. Louder with Crowder. He's wearing like a goofy outfit again because when in doubt, be a jackass. Russell and Richard Dawkins, Atheism versus God. It's an old one, isn't it? Yeah. Anyways, hi chat room. How are you? Totally innocent. I'm an innocent guy. I'm innocent. I said I'm innocent. Normally that works with Melania. Partly because sometimes I think she's dumb enough to believe me. Mostly not. Most of the time I think she just glad someone else is fucking me. It's a wonderful thing about Like Trump thinking he can get away with lies because when he lies to his wives about having an affair, they're like, as long as you're not on me. The Chad is innocent. It's the most innocent Chad I've ever seen. I'm innocent. Within reason. We know you're innocent. I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I am an innocent man. Oh, yes, I am. Saga, seditious Americans get attorneys. Right. Well, make attorneys get attorneys, I think is that. I'm foreseeing Bongholio and Junior cry tonight. Oh, it's going to be so good. They're not cutting clips because of yours truly. Bongholio is releasing fewer clips because I don't dive into these fucking 50-minute bullshits and I don't pull clips specifically. So they are literally running from me. Chicken shit. His valet got indicted. Oh, the Walt Nauta. Walt Naughty. Yeah. Hold on one second.
Free health care for illegal. Yeah, look.
Yep. Were you going to play Levin on Hannity? I'm going to do it tonight, K-Link. I'm going to do it on the afternoon show. Any MTG response? Well, there's a bunch of this shit. We'll go back to these. Okay, Trump appointed judge because Eileen Cannon. We know this. She's got crazy Q eyes. Fifth Avenue, I guess he couldn't shoot people. Is that, he may be a traitorous criminal rapist, but he's our criminal traitorist, right? Once again, judging by Republican reaction tonight, Trump is right all along. He really could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and he wouldn't lose any voters. It depends on the person. It definitely matters who he would have shot. That's the interesting part. Let's, all things being equal, the person he shoots is innocent of any wrongdoing, but they are politically against the right. They would be okay with it. Yeah, that's the picture of him saying, I could just shoot somebody and not lose any voters. It's amazing. Yeah, because your voters are made up of grotesque people. I'm voting for the guy with the most arrests, indictments, impeachments, and private residence because that's the guy the establishment wants to get rid of for putting the American people first. Huh? Wait, is Cenk on CNN? Oh, that's News Nation. I don't even know what the fuck's going on there, and I don't care. Oh, Jared and Ivanka, that's lovely. Who did Trump show the Iran doc to? He showed it to people writing. He showed it to a lot of other people too, but he showed it primarily in that particular instance. He showed it to people writing a book on Mark Meadows. Yeah. And you know that means he showed it to everybody else. Like anybody he thought wasn't recording or taking fucking notes or could benefit him, you know he didn't go, this is secret, don't tell anybody. Like, because they're writing a book, he was like, I can't show you this, it's a big secret. And then he shows it to them. Fucking hell. It's just because CNN has the transcript. Now the tide is coming in. Trump aide Walt Nauta indicted. There it is. An aide of former President Donald Trump has been indicted in Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation into the mishandling of classified documents from the Trump White House. Two sources familiar with the indictment tell CNN. Walt Nauta's indictment is the second in the Special Counsel's investigation after Trump was indicted on 7 counts Thursday. He declined to comment. Nauta was with Trump at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club this week. Specific charges against Nauta have not been revealed. Trump responded to Nauta's indictment on social media on Friday. They are trying to destroy his life, like the lives of so many others, hoping that he will say bad things about Trump. He is strong, brave, and a great patriot. Well, then he probably will end up saying bad things about Trump because there are a lot of bad things to say about him and that are true and require bravery to say in the face of maggot violence. The FBI and DOJ are corrupt. Nauta's involvement in the movement of the boxes of classified material at Trump's Florida resort have been the subject of scrutiny of investigators. Nauta, with the help of a maintenance worker at Mar-a-Lago, moved the boxes before the FBI executed a search warrant on the Palm Beach property last August. This is what led to the actual search and seizure warrant, was them viewing video that the boxes were being moved. According to court filings last year, the FBI found more than 100 documents marked as classified during the search, which took place after weeks after Trump lawyers signed a statement attesting the Trump team had complied with a May subpoena, seeking production of all documents with classified markings. Trump told them to lie. He did. Bum, 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 bum. Bye, Walt, you big dummy. Metformin is trending because of its benefits in preventing long COVID. What is this? Someone is off take. What? As someone taking an off-brand Ozempic as well as metformin, I'm begging you to cut the shit. They aren't magic. They don't cure addiction or illness. They have shitty side effects, and I medically need them to be available. I see. Yeah, Ozempic, people are using it off-label for weight loss. A lot of people are using it. And if you see somebody like a famous celebrity that has lost a shit ton of weight, like the little bit of weight that I've gained versus my waist radius, that won't work. But people who look like a deflated balloon all of a sudden, people who are famously have struggled with their weight for a long time, or they're celebrities, and then all of a sudden look like lollipops. That's Ozempic. People are getting prescribed Ozempic on that. And metformin is a drug that has been used for diabetes for a long time. I think it's glucophage is what's its generic form. Both have been used for a long time to fight diabetes and insulin resistance and all the aspects of that, and it's been functional, I guess. There was a movement in the anti-aging crowd to use metformin, and the long-term benefits seem to be negative, but the short-term benefits at times help in some studies. That was the thing. Whatever. The reason metformin prevents long COVID is because it prevents the first thing that goes wrong. Increased glucogenesis is the post-acute phase. However, metformin causes lactic acidosis, which can prove dangerous in post-acute phase. Berberine is a much better option. I can't speak to this, but berberine is, if you don't know, is what most of the people in the anti-aging movement moved to when they were moving away from metformin because of the long-term usage of impacts. When they were saying, yeah, this is not good to be on forever. It might work as a transition or something, but berberine is a naturally occurring substance. I want to say it comes from dandelions. I don't know. The capsules are yellow. They always showed them in those videos. So, but that's where that comes from. And you guys know I follow and I perform for the folks at the Sense Foundation and the anti-aging groups and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, all this shit shows up in my feed. But it has an antiviral effect to this because it stops one of the aspects of it, like fusing brain cells, very possibly. But outpatient treatment with metformin reduced long COVID incidence by about 41%, with an absolute reduction of 4.1% compared with placebo. Metformin is cheap, safe, and really well-run clinical trial. Okay, that's why that story is in. This has been making the rounds. PS members are good for a host of things outside of reducing. I take 1,000 milligrams. That seems like a lot. Micrograms? That's a lot. Let's see. 3 days I started. I got my vitamin D levels. I started off-label metformin. Got a prescription for Paxlovid to carry with me. Paxlovid and metformin together. These two things were what they're recommending. This person is saying this in hindsight, but that's what they put together as one of the treatments when people got COVID that showed promise, the two of these together. They also tried it with ivermectin, and ivermectin lessened the positive impacts of metformin, according to the study, and made it worse, and had no benefit on its own. Here's hoping this doesn't lead to a shortage of metformin, though. More than likely, no. Because, again, glucophage is a generic form of it, and it's produced all over the world. So I wrote about this earlier, just to kind of get specifically about the ivermectin part of it was what stood out to me. Top secret we saw, Romney we saw, special counsel, obviously, Trump 2024 is Trump's DOJ, this is the, probably in relation to, Barr saying this.
I suspect it's near. I've said for a while that I think this is the most dangerous legal risk facing the former president. Mm-hmm. And if I had to bet, I would bet that it's near.
You believe there is enough evidence?
Well, they won't indict if there's not enough evidence, but from what I've seen, there's substantial evidence there.
And do you believe that?
I suspect it's near. I've said for a while.
Mm-hmm. And there's one also where he says he jerked him around, like the president was and this shit right here. Just that, yeah. The laughs they had. Let's see. If we go to Bill Barr, go to videos, and more than likely this will be in here as well.
People will see that this is not a case of the Department of Justice, conducting a witch hunt. In fact, they approached this very delicately and with deference to the president, and this would have gone nowhere had the president just returned the documents. But he jerked them around for a year and a half, and the question is, did he deceive them?
I had to beat off.
Yeah, don't jerk around the DOJ.
And if there's evidence of that, I think people will start to see that this says more about Trump than it does the Department of Justice. And that is that he's so egotistical that he has this penchant for conducting, risky, reckless acts to
hashtag the best people,
show that he can sort of get away with it. It's part of asserting his ego. And he's done this repeatedly at the expense of all the people who depend on him to conduct the public's business in an honorable
and he means him
way.
And again, unlike Mike Pence, Bill Barr is one of those people like, okay, this motherfucker's followers are threatening my life all the time.
And, we saw that with
fuck him.
With both impeachments. And there's no excuse for what he did here based on the.
Nope. And by the way, hi, you're watching Hal Sparks Mornings, Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/HalSparks. Lots of stuff coming up. By the way, next Tuesday, Ultimate Jam Night, but I will be doing an early show next Tuesday following the timing of the indictment, if indeed it happens during that time period. If indeed that is the case, that he's going in at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I will do an early show on Tuesday covering that, as I have no doubt many people will. Do I expect anything to come of it? No, but we will talk about the case while we show the video of him arriving and all that kind of shit. And then if there's any kind of information coming out of it, we'll be on top of it. Yeah, it'll be a good time. Let's see. Okay, there's the only one crime and there's reason his rules are. Is this there you go. Malcolm Nance is in a bit of a pissing contest with somebody. That said, hold on, let me jump in here real quick with the chat room. Hi, chat room. Whoops, where is it? There you go. Hi. Barr found out exactly who Trump was in short order, and yet he still enabled him. Well, that's the thing, is that there are a bunch of these folks. Barr thinks he's protecting the office of the presidency because he's one of these, like, supreme executive power dudes. Pickles say fuck cancer. Pickles are right. Oh, hey. Hi, how you doing? Hello, hi, good to see you. Good morning, good day, and good evening, and good night, and scene. So Barr thought he was protecting the office of the presidency, and still does, quite frankly. And he believes that, here's one of the issues. So Barr protected Bush 1 by helping him get his journals excluded at the expense of the people who were involved in Iran-Contra, under the premise that as vice president and then as president, he has sort of a supreme executive control over his own notes and all that kind of stuff during the time he's president. And if you do that during that time, you can get rid of evidence all you want. If you do it after, you're fucked, is the idea. And Barr helped Bush 1 do that, to protect the supreme offices of the presidency and to make a note in our constitutional understanding of the law that presidents can do that. Presidents can, he believes to some degree Nixon could have pardoned himself, that idea. But once you cross a certain line, legally you're out of office, or legally you pass a certain line of criminality, he knows that the backlash to allowing somebody to get away with that will eat into his entire supreme executive thing and cause legal, law to be written in the opposite direction that will undermine all the shit he's been trying to create in the supreme objective movement for years. So he does not have to have like a renewed sense of morality or an idea that we have, separation of powers in the government at all to come to this conclusion. What he's mad at Trump for is being an egotistical idiot and fucking up Barr's life's work, which is to make the presidency of the United States a line item veto, one note mini monarchy. And he knows that if you step over a certain line with the public's acceptance of the availability of, the wiggle room of the law, if you go outside that, people will go, oh, wait a second. Wait, they think they can do that? Fuck that. And they'll write a law to stop it. And you can look at sort of the Electoral College, the Electoral College Act or whatever, that everybody's trying to like codify to make sure nobody thinks they can, just surpass it in the future. Because people were trying to when bad people try to use the wiggle room in the law or places where it's vague, when it's clear to the people who wrote it and clear to the people who've lived under it for a long time, but then somebody comes along and tries to like upend the entire thing. You're like, yeah, we can't have that. Let's clarify that and make sure that they never have that opportunity again or even think that they do, because they don't. And we just don't want to have our country wait around for a year and a half while we win that case and upend the entire fucking function of our government. So Barr knows that if you try that kind of shit, which Trump is always trying, if you try that, then you're going to anger and wake up the voters and go, hold on, we can't let some asshole like him come in and just rewrite the law, because he's taking the Clinton idea of it, if a blowjob is sexual relations or that's just intercourse kind of reading of the law, and whether you lied to Congress or lied in a deposition, and your belief system around that, you can't take that kind of wiggle room and then involve it in national defense issues. Barr is not a good guy, but to protect his legacy, he has to go after Trump. What criminally noise thing would you do as president? Don't say nuke the UK. What criminal noise? Criminal noise. Is that a misspell or is that some sort of weird British word? Criminal noise. What would I do that's technically criminal as president, that I thought I could get away with? It was necessary. I mean, you'd have to, in the only hypothetical I could think of is UFOs are real. And we have time machine capability, and I have the ability to send somebody back in time to kill Hitler before he does anything, which would be, murdering an innocent person. But because in our timescape, he turned out to do all these things. And what I would do is send people back I would send people back from the show Punk'd to just fuck with him so that he never becomes, the leader of Germany, which would be probably against the time travel laws. Can we agree that UFOs cannot be identified? Yes, because if they were identified, they wouldn't have a U in them. The same thing if they were UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Go back in time, kill Hitler, a lot of us would cease to exist. That's true. That's why you just mess with them a little bit. Stop insulting Fred Flintstone. Skew the timeline and change this world. Right. That's the idea. Don't forget. The temptation would be very big. Yes, I would put Jean-Claude Van Damme in charge of the Time Cop organization. While not illegal, not advisable. When I tell you not to move, you don't move. So yeah. Said this baby. Many times he said, Max, ow. Sometimes in the dark of my mind, I wonder how is Putin still, yeah. Well, the idea is that he very well may not be. The idea is that there could be he could be using doubles this entire time. All right, so we'll go back to where we are. CNN politics. Did Biden? No, because that's that part. Including Biden, Tomovich, Walt Nauta. This is the breaking part of this. Richard Nixon. Haiti is trending because I mean, they've had enough problems, but this is let's see, what is this? Haiti money. Oh, because she's selling illegal firearms climate in Haiti to top VP agenda in historic Bahamas visit. Okay. Crisis in Haiti. There certainly is one. Okay. Savoring. That was very okay. This is just people posting shit and using hashtags. The Lord has warned us that the end times are here. What is this? Hello from India, Canada, Haiti, Ukraine, and all the way to home. Here are video moments captured this week from around the world. Here's a bunch. Why is news only the things that show damage? Maybe that's the question you ask. Maybe. VP of the United States Kamala Harris to the Bahamas, host of the highest level meetings of official visits since our nation's independence. During our bilateral meeting, we discussed collaboration, progress on climate change, regional security. Cool. Like it. Sounds good. Cool. Okay. So that's better news on Haiti, as far as it showing up in the news. And then, of course, Walt Nauta. He's not a good witness anymore. Yeah, and they call him his body man. He's always this quiet, lurky dude. I've just learned that the thugs, in quotes. Why would you put it in quotes? Why don't you just call them thugs? Because other people call them thugs? He does that. I think that's part of it. Just to clarify, sometimes he will put stuff in quotes because it creates the premise that other people call them this, not me. Therefore, there is backup for my ideas. Other people or have drawn attention to this thing. That's why he puts Corvette in quotes. That's the way his people read it. His fans. From the Department of Injustice, will be indicting a wonderful man, Walt Nauta, a member of the U.S. Navy, who served proudly with me in the White House, retired as senior chief, and then transitioned into private life as a personal aide. He's done a fantastic job. They're trying to destroy his life, like the lives of so many others, hoping that he will say bad things about Trump. He's strong, brave, and corrupt, and a great patriot. The FBI, DOJ are corrupt. Yeah, you got him in trouble. You ordered him to do illegal things. And so he can either say, I was, as a private citizen, I was working for someone that was telling me to do criminal shit that I knew as a former member of the Navy was criminal, and I did it anyways. Frank Fagluzzi with the dunk. Co-conspirator Nauta has been indicted. Someone has to bring Trump his Diet Cokes in prison. Sorry, Walt. Bend over. I'm lonely. Moon River. And then Richard Nixon, because Reagan. Note for now is when Trump asserts that Richard Nixon was paid $18 million for his records because the Presidential Records Act was passed in 1978. Post Nixon, because Nixon was trying to destroy presidential documents after he resigned. True. Trump is a manifestation of the lack of accountability we have for presidents. In the run-up to the first indictment of President Trump, they talked to Jon Stewart about the infamous statement from Richard Nixon: if the president does it, it's not illegal. Right. I want to say this on television. I made my mistakes, but in all my years of public life, I have never profited from public service. Never obstructed justice. That's not true. And I think I could do this, say in my defense, years of public life, that I welcome this. Yeah, that didn't turn out to be true either. Talks in 1976 about his connection to Richard Nixon from age 13 right through Watergate, and of course, all the president's men. Yeah, there they are. There's the two of them together. It's like there's a thread. Makes it all make sense. Yeah, so not surprising that Nixon is trending with all this kind of stuff or whatever. And there's a bunch of here, if I may, and by the way, let me, and I think I can. I think somebody told Trump not to see an indictment. Yeah. I am not a crook. The Roger Stone connection. Yeah, was there a transference there? Bromance, don't worry. You won't always be the worst POTUS. He's leaning over. Tricky Trump. Nixon passed off the mojo. I passed my criminality into your body. And there's no room. Shit, it came back. You're full. Nixon was a dip way back then. True, in general. And by the way, you're watching House Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide. We got a few more minutes. Let me, I'm going to grab this real quick. And then we'll go to this real quick. And then I'll grab this and put this up here. And we'll go back to here. And, yeah, that was an hour ago. Yeah, and there's like, hold on. Looking at his stuff. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'll show you. This was fucked up. Hold on. Now, I do have an opinion about this. Let me show you something. So one of the things that came up this morning was this asshole from Louisiana, Clay Higgins, wrote this thing up. President Trump said he has, quote, been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. This is a perimeter probe from the oppressors. Hold. Our POTUS has that, meaning real POTUS, meaning Trump. Buckle up. 150K, know your bridges. Rock steady, calm. That is all. 150K, know your bridges means know your surrounding areas, and it's like shitheel military stuff. It's like when Steve Bannon says armor-piercing shell and tip of the spear and all that stuff. It's just macho assholes saying military stuff to appear tough. What I will point out, and what I think nobody else is seeming to notice, is that Clay Higgins, like a lot of other Republicans, recognizes that when this shit happens and Trump starts getting his just desserts, which isn't 2 scoops of ice cream and a big piece of chocolate cake, when he starts getting those, his followers start threatening violence. They start acting in ways that will, and these assholes are very aware that they have created a culture of violence amongst their supporters, Jan 6 style, that persists to this day. And their concern is that one of their supporters, some random maggot, is going to act violently and fuck it up for everybody. And the whole country, and again, this goes to the like Bill Barr thing of his concern that Trump is going to undo all the supreme executive stuff that he wants to do. Clay Higgins and his ilk are afraid that some maggot is going to kill some innocent people in the name of Trump, and then the whole country is just going to instantly turn on Trump entirely. We won't even need the trial for the rest of them to go, fuck this guy. He's just fomenting violence, and every time we turn around, and he knows it's this close. He also knows that Trump supporters, like the more violent maggots that are out there, they're girding their loins for this. Girding. Let them gird their loins. Whatever. They're prepping for this. And that's their worry. He's worried one of these idiots will pop off. That's why it says rock steady, calm. That is all, like await orders. Stand back and stand by, but don't do anything. Trump has this. Don't worry about it. So while this is absolutely violent speech, and it is a call for violence on, like, get ready to be violent if need be, it's actually mitigatory towards a specific crowd to, like, don't snap and kill a bunch of people. You're going to fuck it up for everybody. And that's the thing that stood out most about this. Also, Higgins is a prick. And he knows they caused this kind of shit. They're aware of this, because this was like articles about this have been going on about this all morning, about his stuff. And let's see. According to Maggie Haberman, just so you know, apparently the recording was the thing that may have led to the attorneys leaving, and why they're like, I can't do it. I don't even know what to fucking say to them. We can't even stop the indictment now. There's nothing we can file. They have incriminating audio that you admit is you, because it was from parties you welcomed into Mar-a-Lago. CNN on Friday morning obtained a bombshell transcript of a recording on which, here we go, hold on. Former President Donald Trump boasts of retaining secret. Maggie Haberman revealed that the former president's team was essentially blindsided by this recording's existence. I don't think they quite know how to defend this from what we have heard, she said. They were startled by the existence of this tape. This tape was something that they learned existed when this aide to Trump testified. That's Walt Nauta, I think. Prosecutors were already in possession of this tape. They didn't get it from the aide, although it appears the aide had a copy when it was subpoenaed later. But this has been described to us by multiple sources as a really problematic piece of evidence for Trump. You fucking think? Hang on. Oh, Trump's okay. Hold on, back up. I don't know. It just says Trump, so they didn't. It doesn't link to this. He's just not that smart. Trump buried by Morning Joe for handing investigators all they need. I think they are going to stick that their line. They're going to stick that their line. I think they are going to stick that their line. He says things he doesn't mean in a certain way. She said, I'm sure they can come up with all kinds of explanation for why he used the language he used, but it's on tape. Trump is due in court in Miami next week to face 7 felony charges related to the handling of top secret government documents. Bye, dummy. We're in a banana republic. So unfair that I can't make a little money off the secrets I was told while I was in office, after I leave office, when everybody else did that, except when they didn't, which was always, even Nixon, fuck. So, yeah, even Nixon was just trying to destroy records. I mean, that was even the argument about Hillary Clinton, was the idea that these 30,000 emails were gone. Not that she fucking showed them to our enemies, or that they were ever hacked, because if they'd been hacked, we'd have seen them. Right. Like, she put them on an unsecure server, which was between the State Department, Gmail, Yahoo, and her server. Of those 4, hers was the only one not hacked. The only one with legit security, including the State Department, was Hillary Clinton's private email server. Hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. It's comedy gold and it's fucking hilarious. Hold on. Let's see if 1 second. DOJ. And we looked at Mitt Romney saying that he brought these charges on himself. Was Trump selling classified info? Okay, yeah, this is this is where a lot of this has gone lately too. And let me bring something else up. Well, I can't do it there, can I? No, hold on. Here. Yes, I can. Hold on. Yeah. So, scroll down, you silly thing. So good. This is Bloomberg this morning. Trump shuffles them off to Buffalo, says ex-valet indicted in conspiracy. His body man. Trump charged for federal crimes and classified documents case opinion. Republicans must choose to be on the right side of justice. This is Bloomberg writing this. Yeah. Judge in Trump special master review assigned to new DOJ criminal case. There you go. Tesla set for $3 billion boost from Chargers at rivals' expense because they've already got a jump start on where the Chargers will be. EV charging stock sync in General Motors pact with Tesla. Joint Tesla's EV charge. Yeah, because they just decided to use the Chargers that are already there. George Santos, $5,000 bond was backed by family members. Lawyer says that's a lie. We'll find that out soon enough. Little-known insurance brokers having a moment thanks to inflation. Billionaire who rode Zoom's 14.79%. Stock boom builds health bets. Whatever this is, like there's somebody who recognized we were going to be in there. Crude oil is at $70 a barrel and kind of hovering around there, where Russia's selling it at $58 a barrel and India is converting it into gas and selling it to Europe at Russia's expense. But whatever. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah, here. So, yeah. DOJ investigates alleged conservative effort to infiltrate the DNC ahead of 2020 election. The Department of Justice is investigating a conservative-backed effort in Wyoming to infiltrate the DNC before the 2020 election. Former British intelligence officials Richard Seddon and Susan Gore, among others, were subpoenaed in the investigation that was apparently triggered by a 2021 New York Times article that detailed an undercover operation by conservatives to infiltrate progressive groups, political campaigns, and the offices of Democratic as well as moderate Republican elected officials during the 2020 election cycle. The investigation is looking into whether any campaign finance laws were broken and is being handled by the Public Corruption Unit of the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. Also subpoenaed were Eric Prince, security contractor and former brother of Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. Kind of a big deal. This is, and kind of buried underneath what's the Trump story. DOJ investigating conservative-backed efforts in Wyoming to infiltrate DNC ahead of 2020 election. Let's see. The investigation appears to stem from... that's their own article. Oh, that's CNN's article. Where's the... In 2020, New York Times is citing... link to the article, you assholes. As far as we know, there are no federal criminal charges involving the client. It's just... because of relation to Project Veritas and that kind of stuff. According to the Times, Seddon, who worked with Prince, secured funding from Gore by the end of 2018 to train activists to infiltrate political groups. Seddon, according to the Times, recruited former operatives from Project Veritas, where he previously worked. The Times reported that 2 operatives trained by Seddon pledged sizable political donations ranging from $1,250 to $10,000 to Democratic organizations and candidates. Some of the donations gained the operatives, a couple, entry to fundraisers and even a Democratic primary debate in Las Vegas. It's not clear where the couple got the money to make the donations. It is illegal to use another person's name to make political donations, and prosecutors have brought numerous so-called straw donor prosecutions in recent years. One of the subpoenas also seeks communications involving the couple, as well as individuals and organizations that received the donations. So this is them trying to we'll give you $10,000 so you can pretend to be these big DNC donors, and then you ask leading questions and record people talking, frankly, and we'll cut it and make it look like they want to drink children's adrenochrome. Oh boy. Wait a minute. They unsealed the indictment. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're live. Hold on. Hold on. Trump indictment unsealed text. Donald Trump indicted classified documents case. CNN transcript. Key article about the latest federal indictment of Trump document pro. Trump indicted classified documents. News. Donald Trump. Okay. Read the Trump indictment statement of facts. No, that's April 4th. It's 4 hours ago. Donald Trump indicted classified documents against his deadline. Change transcript. Key auto update. Trump's federal. Here you go. Trump's federal indictment has not been yet been unsealed. Yeah, well, apparently it has. Yeah, I only have the April 4th indictment. Hold on one second. Might have to go back to Twitter for this one. See if it's there. Oh, it's going to be good stuff. We're going to have it in a moment. They're reading it. They are reading it now. Check ABC. Okay. I want a copy of it. I don't give a shit. If they unsealed it. Hold on. Here we go. Full April 4th. Okay. Trump indictment found unsealed. Updated 2 minutes ago. Analysis. Criminal indictment. What happens next? Trump can still run. Former President Trump's 7-count indictment in connection with keeping hundreds. The indictment was unsealed Friday afternoon. Federal judge case against. Here's what we know. The evidence. Okay. Audio recording. 2 of Trump's lawyers. Live updates. Where is it? I want the text. This is where I am right now. Trump indictment unsealed in federal documents case. What analysis? Trump puts the nation in perilous path. Where is it? I don't care. Where is the actual paperwork? This is it. How much of a role can she play? This is it. Former President Donald Trump. Here's what we know. 2 of Trump's lawyers quit. Blah, blah, blah. Federer declined to comment. I have no comment. Worries about electability of the Jew running for Trump indictment. Trump had been invited. Biden learned of indictment just like everybody else across America. God damn it. Refresh it. Okay, you think that's hold on. Refreshing. It's refreshing. Let's see. All right, God damn it. I'm gonna seek it out. Give me 1 second. If anybody wants to put the link, if anybody can find the link and put it in the staff Discord, that would be cool. I don't know if it's in there, but we're gonna be right. Let's see. Watch on CNN. Okay. Give me a second. Where it? Oh, I'll get a fucking hit if I try to do that. Okay, it's on HuffPost. Thank you. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm. 7 counts. Pin things in the Wi-Fi. Here's the indictment. There you go. Lovely. Oh boy. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. If I may, let me I don't know, pop this up a little bit. Oh, guys. Settle in. What'd I tell you? There will not be enough popcorn for 2023. Here we go. All right. Grand jury charges that at times material to this indictment on or about dates approximately stated below. 1. Defendant Donald Trump was the 45th president of the United States of America. He held office during this time. We know this. Hold on 1 second. Let me shrink this down a little bit so you guys can see the thing, and then I'll go Control minus. There we go. Better. Okay. So, held office. President Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents in national defense, including information from the agencies compromised intel. Over the course of his presidency, he gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept at the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. That's the rants of probably too. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the United States military and human sources, and the continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. At 12 noon on January 20th, 2021, Trump ceased to be president. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified documents, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. It's not his home. He maintains a residence there. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain those classified documents. That's pretty fucking clear right there. The Mar-a-Lago Club was an active social club which between January 2021 and August 2022 hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nevertheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including a ballroom, a bathroom and shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. A bathroom and shower. This motherfucker... And a storage room. Like, everybody talks about the storage room, and we know his desk. A ballroom. He just used a ballroom there. The same empty fucking ballroom where he sits and does all those weird two-seater interviews with no table. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others as follows. July 2021 at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, the Bedminster Club. During an audio recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, we've talked about this. This is part of it. Showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals the plan was highly confidential and secret. He also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. Motherfucker, this guy's dumb. That's great. But this is still a secret. It's still a secret. Hashtag still a secret. In August or September 2021, at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his political action committee who did not possess a security clearance a classified map related to a military operation and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. Awareness of guilt, ladies and gentlemen. On March 30th, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Federal grand jury investigation began the next month. The grand jury issued a subpoena regarding Trump, requiring Trump to turn over all documents with classification markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigation and concealed his continued retention of classified documents by, among other things, A, suggesting that his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. He instructed his lawyers to engage in a criminal activity. To wit, they would be acting in the furtherance of a crime, and they either did and therefore are criminally culpable in this situation, or they didn't and they fucking quit, and they're trying to keep the fact that he told them to do this within their attorney-client privilege and failing miserably. Directed defendant Walt Nauta to move boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump's attorney, the FBI, and the grand jury. This is the ones where he's trying to bullshit his own people. How the fuck do you keep that job? Suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. Oh my fucking God. Where's the server? Where's the server? Where's the server? Suggesting that his attorney, that means he's got testimony from his attorney saying this under oath, hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury subpoena. The destroy part worries me less than the hide part. Providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena, while claiming that he was cooperating fully, and causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury, falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena had been produced, while knowing that, in fact, not all such documents had been produced. So it wasn't even that he was ignorant. He was like, these are all the documents, and then, oh shit, I forgot about those. He knew, and they have evidence that he knew he was keeping some while lying to the FBI and the grand jury through his attorneys that he was trying to get engaged in. The great thing is right now, the Bongholio and that crowd are all reading this too. And they're not having the best time. They're definitely not having the best time right now. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the United States government until 2022 as follows. On January 17th, nearly 1 year after Trump left office, and after months of demands by the National Archives and Records Administration for Trump to provide all missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. On June 3rd, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding the production of all documents with classification markings, Trump attorney provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classification markings. By the way, that's the stuff that was in an envelope, wrapped in red tape and cellophane and sealed, so they were aware it was not declassified. If it was declassified and the president had magically declassified it when he was president and all that kind of shit, they would have just handed over a folder. But the fact that they went through the process of wrapping it up, his own lawyers they knew full well, they were aware that he had these things illegally. That just the framing of it, just how they gave it back was proof they knew these were not theirs. Oh boy. On August 8th, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI recovered from Trump's office in a storage room at Mar-a-Lago Club 102 more documents with classification markings. Defendant Nauta was a member of the United States Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Beginning in August of 2021, Nauta became an executive assistant to the office of Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Nauta reported to Trump, working closely with Trump, and traveled with Trump. The Mar-a-Lago Club. The Mar-a-Lago Club is still located at the South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach. When he sells it, we'll call it something else. I don't know what. Maybe we buy it instead of 666 and turn it into the Hillary Clinton Foundation for lovers of Jimmy Carter. And included Trump's residence, more than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office space, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than 150 full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Some of them undocumented. Just for the record. It's not in there, but it's true. Okay. Between January 2021 and August 2020, are you guys bored yet? No. Okay. This is exciting. I'm enjoying it. Okay. The Mar-a-Lago Club hosted more than 150 social events, including weddings, movie premieres, and fundraisers. Movie premieres. It means 2,000 fucking mules. But still. All right. Movie. Fuck out of here. And fundraisers that together drew tens of thousands of guests. The United States Secret Service provided protection services to Trump and his family after he left office, including the Mar-a-Lago Club, but it was not responsible for the protection of Trump's boxes or their contents. That's where he's like, it's guarded by the Secret Service. It's locked tighter than Fort Knox. If you don't believe me, ask Anna de Rothschild. And if you don't know who Anna de Rothschild is, it's because she doesn't exist, but go look her up. Please go look up Anna de Rothschild. Hilarious. Okay, so you can see the United States did not inform. Okay, Trump did not inform the Secret Service that he was storing boxes containing classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. And that's so sad. He can't even throw the Secret Service under the bus anymore. Classified information. National security information was information owned by, produced for, and under the control of the United States government, pursuant to Executive Order 12958, signed April 17, 1995, and amended Executive Order 13292 on March 23, 2003, and Executive Order 13526 on December 29, 2009. National security information was classified as top secret, secret, confidential as follows. Information was classified as top secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. Information classified as secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause serious damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. So they have to, not only do they say it's top secret or say it's secret, but they have to describe why it would be secret, like who would be harmed and how. Information was classified as confidential if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. The classification marking no foreign stood for not releasable to foreign nationals. No foreign. Yes. It's no foreign November. Not releasable to foreign nationals, and denoted that dissemination of that information was limited to United States persons. Classified information related to intelligence sources, methods, and analytical processes was designated as sensitive compartmented information, SCI, and the sensitive compartmented information facility was called a SCIF, and Trump thinks it's spelled SKIFF. SCI was to be processed, stored, used, or discussed in an accredited sensitive compartmented information facility, SCIF, and only individuals with appropriate security clearance and additional SCI permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information. When the vulnerability of or threat to specific classified information was exceptional and the normal criteria for determining eligibility for access to classified information were insufficient to protect the information from unauthorized disclosure, the United States could establish special access programs, SAPs, which normally we would apply to anyone who works for Trump, especially lawyers who think they're going to get paid. But in this case, it's an acronym. To further protect the classified information, the number of these programs was to be kept to an absolute minimum and limited to programs in which the number of persons who ordinarily would have access would be reasonably small and commensurate with the objective of providing enhanced protection. This is this in spy movies. This would be need to know only. That's what the SAPs are. That's what they're trying to say. Only the people involved in the thing should know about it, because if it gets out, it'll fuck up the whole thing. Oh, good. Pursuant to the Executive Order 13526, information classified at any level could be lawfully accessed only by persons determined by an appropriate United States government official to be eligible for access to classified information, and who had signed an approved non-disclosure agreement, who received a security clearance, and who had a need to know the classified information. That's a pretty tall order. After his presidency, Trump was not authorized to possess or retain classified documents. Executive Order 13526 provided that a former president could obtain a waiver of the need to know requirement if the agency head or senior agency official of that agency originated the classified information. One, determined in writing that access was consistent with the interests of national security, and two, took appropriate steps to protect classified information from unauthorized disclosure or compromise and ensure the information was safeguarded in a manner consistent with this order, which clearly is not putting them in a fucking storage room at a facility that has had over 150 weddings and 2,000 mules premieres. Trump did not obtain any such waiver after his presidency. Trump did not obtain any such waiver after his presidency. As part of his official duties as president, Trump received intelligence briefings. This is back case, by the way. We can skip some of this. The PDB, the USIC's mission was to collect, analyze, deliver foreign intelligence. After his presidency, Trump retained classified documents originated by or implicating the equities of multiple USIC members and other executive branch departments and agencies, including the following. The CIA. CIA is responsible for providing intelligence on foreign countries and global issues to the president and other policymakers to help them make national security decisions. The Department of Defense, the National Security Agency, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. That's a relatively new one. The NGIA. That's going to be a boogeyman. The National Reconnaissance Office, the Department of Energy, the Department of State, and Bureau of Intelligence and Research. And they, is responsible for protecting and promoting United States security, prosperity, and democratic values. Within the Department of State, the Bureau of Intelligence and Research was a member of the USIC and responsible for providing intelligence to inform diplomacy and support United States diplomats. Trump's public statements on classified information. As a candidate for the President of the United States, Trump made the following public statements, among others, about classified information. This is awareness of guilt stuff. On August 18th, and by the way, hold on one second. You guys having good times? Is this all right? Good times? I know I'm running long, but this is fucking pretty sweet. Just saying. So, all right. There's 50 pages of this. So no way I'm getting through all of this. Trump's political statements. In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law. September 6, 2016. We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. One of the first things we must do is enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws relating to the handling of classified information. We also need the best protection of classified information. Service members here in North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intelligence to protect our country. He issued the following statement on July 26, 2018. As the head of the executive branch, the commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue of a former executive branch official's security clearance raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. Such access is particularly inappropriate when former officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive information to validate their political attacks. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of national, not personal interests. Holy shit. This is like, why didn't he just hang a giant A around his neck? Shit. It's got pictures. Trump's retention of classified documents after his look, that's the ballroom. That's the ballroom. They're on the fucking stage. What the shit? In January 2021, as he was preparing to leave the White House, Trump and his White House staff, including Nauta, packed items, including some of Trump's boxes. Trump was personally involved in this process. Trump caused his boxes, containing hundreds of classified documents, to be transported from the White House to the Mar-a-Lago Club. From January through March 15, 2021, some of Trump's boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago Club's white and gold ballroom, in which events and gatherings took place. Trump's boxes were for time stacked on the ballroom stage, as depicted in the photograph below. In fucking hell. That's amazing. Oh my God, please let the color pictures from this shit come out. Look at that. Jeez, it looks like he was up there for an auction. Like, okay, who do I hear? MBS, you get the first dibs because you like golf. This box, it's all a mystery box. Honestly, we just shoved as much classified shit as we could intermingled with this. If there are any Time magazine covers, they're not for sale. You got to give those back to me. But the documents inside, let's start the bidding at, who do I have the most debt to? What do I owe? Jesus Christ. In March 2021, Nauta and others moved some of Trump's boxes from the white and gold ballroom to the business center at the Mar-a-Lago Club. On April 5th, an employee of the office of Donald Trump, employee 1, texted another employee at that office and to ask whether Trump's boxes could be moved out of the business center to make room for the staff to use it as an office, because that's what it's for. Trump employee 2 said, whoa. Okay, so POTUS specifically asked Walt for those boxes to be in the business center because they are his, quote, papers. Later that day, Trump employee 1 and 2 exchanged the following text messages. We can definitely make it work if we move the papers into the lake room. Employee 1. There's still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is. Is it only his papers he cares about? There's some other stuff in there that are not papers. Could that go to storage, or does he want everything in there on property? Yes, anything that's not the Beautiful Mind paper boxes can definitely go to storage. Want to take a look at the space and start moving tomorrow a.m.? After the text exchange between Trump employee 1 and 2 in April 21, some of Trump's boxes were moved from the business center to a bathroom and shower in the Mar-a-Lago Club's lake room as depicted in the photograph below. Son of a bitch. There's the shower curtain. Is that the toilet? God damn. This is so good. In May 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago Club storage room be cleaned out so it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, including one accessible from the Mar-a-Lago Club pool patio through the door that was often kept open. The storage room was near the liquor supply closet, linen room, lock shop, and various other rooms. In June 24, Trump's boxes that were in the lake room were moved to the storage room. Jesus Christ. They weren't in, remember the whole, they need to be in a storage, and they need to have an extra lock on them. Remember how they told us they were in a storage room the whole time? No, they weren't. They were in they were on a stage, then they were in a bathroom, then they were in his office, and then they were in the storage room, and then some of them went back there. Good Lord, this is fucking hilarious. Hold on, I got a chat room. Damn, this is so good. Hold on. Hold on. Get out of here. I don't need you anymore. Shoo. I just want to move this over here so I can see what you guys are saying while this is happening. Oh my God. Please let the color pictures come out. Oh God. Can you imagine? Judge Eileen Cannon is reading this or has read this. And directed storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago Club be cleaned out so that it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached through multiple outside entrances. Yeah, that's right. Okay. On June 24, boxes were in the lake room, were moved to the storage room. After the move, there were more than 80 boxes in the storage room as depicted in the photographs below. On December 7th, 21, Nauta found several of Trump's boxes fallen and their contents spilled onto the floor of the storage room, including a document marked Secret Rel to US FVEY, which denoted the information in the document was releasable only by Five Eyes intelligence, including Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United States Kingdom, the UK, and the United States. Nauta texted Trump, I opened the door and found this. Nauta also attached 2 photographs he took of the spill. Shit. No wonder he's being indicted. One of the photographs that Nauta texted the employee to is depicting below with the visible classified information redacted. Trump's unlawful retention of the document is charged in count 8 of this indictment. Look, that's the picture of the shit that's spilled. That Nauta sent to another employee. What the fuck? Trump's disclosure. Look at that. Look at this. No wonder he was touchy about the spill where they took, remember when they took the documents out and they put them on the floor and they took a picture and there was one of the FBI, they put a little tent next to it and said, this is the stuff that from box number 2 in the office, and they marked it as such. And he was like, they made it look like I spilled shit all over the floor. The reason he was sensitive about that, besides he would be, is this. Because he knew about this picture. He knew that Nauta had taken and sent this picture. Shit. Some of his boxes brought to his summer residence. Okay, in May 21, Trump caused some of his boxes to be brought to his summer residence at the Bedminster Club, which is where the Live and Saudi Gulf tournament was. Like the Mar-a-Lago Club, after Trump's presidency, the Bedminster Club was not an authorized location for storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. On July 21st, 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview in his office at the Bedminster Club to a writer and publisher connected with then forthcoming book. 2 members of Trump's staff also attended the interview, which was recorded. This is the transcript. Upon getting the writer and 2 staff members, Trump stated, look what I found. This was, and it says senior military officials plan of attack. It's Mark Milley, we now know. Read it and just show it's interesting. Well, with Milley, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't that amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Writer. Wow. No shit. Trump. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. Pages long. Look. Staffer. Like they're going, Is that, you think it was what it was? Like, Trump, wait a minute. Let's see here. Staffer, yeah. Trump, I just found, isn't that amazing? That totally wins my case, you know. Staffer, Trump, except it is like highly confidential. Staffer, yeah, laughter. Secret, this is secret information. Look at this. You attack and... Trump, by the way, isn't that incredible? And by the way, they cut this part out because that's the classified part. That's the fucking plan. That's what those three... This is removed because this is only the judge or someone with clearance is allowed to see that part. He fucking said it. By the way, isn't that incredible? Staffer, yeah. I was thinking because we were talking about it, and, you know, he said we wanted to attack Iran, and what, Staffer, you did. Trump, this was done by military and given to me. I think we can probably, right? Staffer, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yes, we'll have to try. Trump, declassify it. Figure out a, yeah. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Yeah. Now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. Yeah, now we have a problem. Isn't that interesting? Jesus Christ, you're fucking done, dude. That's amazing. See, as president, I could have declared. That's what this was. That's, oh, shit. So more than likely, you know, this exchange came, in the unredacted portions of this. At the time of this exchange, the writer, the publisher, Trump's two staff members did not have security clearances or any need to know any classified information about a plan of attack on country A. In August or September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at Bedminster Club with representatives of his PAC. During the meeting, Trump commented that an ongoing military operation in country B was not going well. Trump showed the PAC representatives a classified map of country B and told the PAC representative that he should not be showing the map to the PAC representative and to not get too close. The PAC representative did not have a security clearance or any need to know. On February 16, 2017, 4 years after Trump's disclosures of classified information set forth above, Trump said at a press conference, "The first thing I thought of when I heard about this is how does this press get this information that's classified? How did they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves." Really ashamed. I like Jack Smith's work. There's a constant pinning of this awareness of guilt. Beginning in May of 2021, the National Archives... I'm fucking going to keep going. We're just going to keep doing this. Is that okay? I know I'm going to run late, but I'll make up for it later. Beginning in May 2021, the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, which was responsible for the archiving of presidential records. Well, let me move this over here too. Do I want to shrink this? I want to shrink this down so that I can have it on here. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Beginning in the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA was responsible for archiving. Okay, between November 2021 and January 2022, Nauta, an employee 2 at Trump's direction, brought boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence for Trump to review. On November 12, 2021, Trump employee 2 provided Trump a photograph of his boxes in the storage room by taping it to one of the boxes that Trump employee 2 had placed in Trump's residence. Employee 2 provided Trump with the photograph so that Trump could see how many of his boxes were stored in the storage room. The photograph shown below depicted a wall of storage room against which dozens of Trump's boxes were stacked. On November 17, 2021, Nauta texted Trump employee 2 about the photograph. Provided Trump saying he mentioned about a picture of the boxes. He wants to see it. Trump employee 2 said, "Calling you shortly." On November 25th, 2021, Trump employee 2 texted Nauta about Trump's review of the contents of his boxes. Says, "Has he mentioned the boxes to you? I delivered some, but I think he may need more. Could you ask if he'd like more in Pine Hall?" Pine Hall was an entry room in Trump's residence. So they're just stacking them in the fucking foyer? Nauta replied in 3 successive text messages. Nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on in Pine Hall. Knocked out 2 boxes yesterday. On November 29, 2021, Trump employee asked, "Next, you are on property, no rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up?" "Yes, of course." On 29th of 2021, Trump employee 2 texted Trump representative who was in contact with NARA, "Box answer will be wrenched out of him today, promise." Next day, the Trump representative replied in 2 successive text messages, Hey, just checking on boxes. Would love to have a number on them to them today. By the way, thanks. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, blah, blah, blah. I'm Reset. It's Hal Sparks Mornings, Mega Worldwide. We go a little loosey-goosey sometimes. In his, a few hours later in successive text messages, 12 is his number. 12. Fucking 12. Trump says that's all the boxes. There are 12 boxes. While being in possession of that photograph. Good Lord. January 15th, 2022. Nauta sent Trump employee 2 4 successive text messages. One thing he asked was for new covers for the boxes for Monday morning. Can we get new box covers before giving these to them on Monday? They have too much writing on them. I marked too much. Trump employee 2 replied, yes, I will get that. Fuck, they had to change the boxes because he wrote what classified shit was in there. So, like, Iran stuff, Milley stuff, CIA stuff, blah. Like, he made notes on the top of the fucking boxes, and now they got to swap out the boxes. Oh, man, please tell me they didn't shred the box tops because he's fucking dumb. And by the way, Trump said 12. They gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded these boxes in Nauta's car, and took them to a commercial truck for delivery to Nauta. When interviewed by the FBI in May 2022 regarding the location and movement of boxes before the production of Nauta made false and misleading statements as set forth in the count 38 of this indictment, including falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review before Trump provided 15 boxes, falsely stating that he did not know how many boxes. Trump indicted on 37 charges, including violations of espionage. 37. This is 37, LA Times. Whoa. No wonder this document's longer. They just said 7. Yeah, I guess count 38 in this indictment. I think it's more than 37, guys. Set for count 38. That's 38. And that doesn't mean we're at the end. Okay. Falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes. Falsely stating that he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck for delivery had gotten to the residence. And when asked whether he knew where Trump's boxes had been stored before they were in Trump's residence and whether they had been in a secure locked location, Nauta falsely responded, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know. Okay, that is all a lie. Waltine Nauta lied right there, and they have photographs. They have texts about him moving it. They have visuals of that he and this other dude sent to each other, or this other woman, person, whoever it is. When the 15 boxes, this is so good. This is so good. Specifically, as the FBI later determined, the boxes contained 197 documents of classification markings, 98 were marked secret, 30 were marked top secret, and the remainder were marked confidential. Some of those documents also contained SCI and SAP markings. That's the top of the top. On February 9, 2022, NARA referred the discovery of classified documents in Trump's boxes to the Department of Justice for investigation. March 30th, the FBI opened a criminal investigation. April 26th, a federal grand jury opened an investigation. The defendant's concealment of boxes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this would be the primary aspect of the case, and the difference between, say, Biden's lawyers discovering something and going, here. The grand jury issued a subpoena to the office of Donald Trump, requiring the production of all documents with classification markings in the possession, custody, or control of Trump or the office of Donald Trump, 2 attorneys representing Trump, 1 and 2, Tweedledee and Dumb, informed Trump of the May 11 subpoena, and he authorized Trump, 1, to accept service. On May 22nd, Nauta entered the storage room at 3:47 p.m. and left approximately 34 minutes carrying one of Trump's boxes. Jeez Christ, they've got the fucking footage, dummy. On May 23rd, the next day, Trump met with Attorney 1 and 2 at the Mar-a-Lago Club to discuss the response to the May 11 subpoena. Trump Attorney 1 and 2 told Trump they needed to search for documents that would be responsive to the subpoena and provide a certification there had been compliance with the subpoena. Trump, in sum and substance, made the following statements, among others, as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. I don't want anybody looking. I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. I really don't. I don't want you looking through my boxes. Well, what happens if we just don't respond at all or don't play ball with them? Wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here? Well, look, isn't it better if there are no documents? This fucking explains the empty folders. Christ, they're going to get electronic documents, and this asshole is going to like have somebody like taking photographs of them, have Walt. We're going to find this shit on Walt's fucking phone, aren't we? Yeah, it's all in Ivana's coffin. God damn. While meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and 2, Trump, in sum and substance, told the following story as memorialized by Trump Attorney 1. This other attorney. He was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said that it was him, that he was the one who deleted all of her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments, and he was great. And so she didn't get in any trouble because he said he was the one who deleted them. Motherfucker. He's asking his attorneys to throw themselves on the fucking grenade. Because he believes that shit. So good. Oh, man. On May 23rd, Trump also confirmed his understanding with Trump Attorney 1 that Trump Attorney 1 would return to Mar-a-Lago on June 2nd to search for any documents with classification markings to produce in response to the May. And by the way, May 23rd, we already have Walt Nauta walking out of there with a fucking box before this shit. After May 11th, they got the subpoena, and he knows it happened. He meets with them after this fact, and then they're going to come back later. So between that moment and when his attorneys come back to do the search, my guess is Walt was busy. Trump Attorney 1 made it clear to Trump that Attorney 1 would not conduct the search for responsive documents by looking through Trump's boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage. Trump indicated that he wanted to be at the club when they returned to review his boxes on June 2nd, and that Trump would change his summer travel plans to do so. Trump told Attorney 2 that Trump Attorney 2 did not need to be present for the review of boxes. So he's giving somebody plausible deniability. Good times. After meeting with Attorney 1 and 2 on May 23rd, Trump delayed his departure from Mar-a-Lago to Bedminster for the summer so that he could be present in Mar-a-Lago on June 2nd when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review the boxes. But oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. Second indictment, there's another one that's come through? Well, yeah. I mean, this is a ton of shit. Between Trump's May 23rd meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 to discuss the May 11th subpoena and June 2nd, when Trump Attorney 1 returned to Mar-a-Lago to review the boxes, Nauta removed, at Trump's direction, a total of approximately 64 boxes from the storage room. 12. Motherfucker. 12. 64 boxes from the storage room and brought them to Trump's residence as set forth below. 64. All right. On May 24, 2022, between 5:30 and 5:38, Nauta removed 3 boxes from the storage room. On May 30, 2022, at 9 a.m., Trump and Nauta spoke by phone for approximately 30 seconds. Between 10 a.m. and 11:51, Nauta removed a total of approximately 50 boxes from the storage room. That motherfucker was moving. On May 30th, a Trump family member texted Nauta, "Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. I saw you put boxes to POTUS room. Just FYI, and I will tell him as well. Not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have room for them. Plane will be full with luggage. Thank you." Nauta replied, "Good afternoon, ma'am." Smiley face emoji. "Thank you so much." Do you think this is Melania trying to dodge this? "Good afternoon, Mrs. Fuck Christmas. Thank you very much." I think he wanted to pick from them. I don't imagine he wanted to take the boxes. He told me to put them in the room that he was going to talk to you about them. On June 1st, 2020, beginning at 12:52 p.m., Nauta removed approximately 11 boxes from the storage room. On June 1st, Trump spoke with Attorney 1 by phone and asked whether Trump Attorney was coming to the Mar-a-Lago Club the next day for exactly what purpose. He knows they're coming for that exactly, and he's just trying to check and see. All right. Attorney 1 reminded Trump that Trump Attorney 1 was going to review the boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at Mar-a-Lago, so that Trump Attorney 1 could have custodian of records certify that May 11 subpoena had been complied with fully. On June 2nd, Trump Attorney 1 was scheduled to review Trump's boxes in the storage room. Trump spoke with Nauta on the phone at 9:29 a.m. for approximately 24 seconds. Later that day, between 12:33 p.m. and 12:52, Nauta and an employee of the Mar-a-Lago Club moved approximately 30 boxes, less than half, of the boxes from Trump's residence to the storage room. In sum, between May 23rd, 2022 and June 2nd, before Trump Attorney 1's review of the Trump boxes in the storage room, Nauta, at Trump's direction, moved approximately 64 boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence and brought to the storage room only approximately 30 boxes. Neither Trump nor Nauta informed Trump Attorney 1 of this information. The false certification of the FBI and the grand jury. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so good. Oh, MSNBC showing the color pictures. So fun. I'll just narrate it. You guys can have that on another screen. The false certification of the FBI and the grand jury. On June 2nd, as Trump had been informed, Trump Attorney 1 arrived at Mar-a-Lago Club to review, had a mimosa in hand, and was obviously a collar made of Dalmatians around her neck, to look for documents with classification markings in response to May 11th subpoena. Trump met with Trump Attorney 1 before Trump Attorney 1 conducted the interview. Nauta escorted Trump Attorney 1 to the storage room and stood weirdly in front of a bunch of other boxes doing this. I just got to move this. Oh, excuse me one second. Between 3:53 and 6:23, Trump Attorney 1, because they have tape and it's fucking time stamped, Trump Attorney 1 located 38 documents with classified documents inside the boxes, which Attorney 1 removed and placed in a red weld folder. That's the part where the fact that it's in a red weld means they know it's classified. It has not been declassified. Trump never made a claim that it was declassified. The fact that they put it in that, and they've had this conversation, he spoke with his attorney, he did not have to bring this, they didn't have to wrap this shit up. It was legitimately declassified. Trump knew it wasn't. Contact Nauta and asked him to bring clear duct tape to the storage room, which Nauta did. Trump Attorney 1 used the clear duct tape to seal the red weld folder with the documents with classification markings inside. Awareness of guilt. After Trump Attorney 1 finished sealing the red weld folder containing the documents with classification markings that he found inside of Trump's boxes, Nauta took Trump Attorney 1 to a dining room in the Mar-a-Lago Club to meet with Trump. After Trump Attorney 1 confirmed that he was finished with his search of the Mar-a-Lago room, Trump asked, "Did you find anything? Is it bad? Good?" Trump and Attorney 1 then discussed what to do with the red weld folder containing documents with classification markings. Trump Attorney 1 should bring them to his hotel room and put them in a safe there. During the conversation, Trump made a plucking motion as memorialized by Trump 1. He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room? Like, if there's anything really bad in there, like, pluck it out. And that was the motion that he made. Oh. Why don't you take them with you to your hotel room, and if there's anything bad, like, pluck it out. And that was the motion. He didn't say that. Like, remove anything. Take this to your hotel room. Slit it open, get some new tape, maybe take it out. First of all, too fucking late, dummy. They gave him the envelope. Once you've wrapped it, they're going to know. The full force of the FBI and the CIA and the U.S. government is going to tell if you tried to steam open a fucking envelope, dum-dum, much less cut clear tape from it and reseal it. What a dickhead. Congratulations, maggots. Your hero is an absolute moron on all fronts, who apparently has never had the fucking focus or ability to even sit through a single episode of Homeland or Law and Order, for fuck's sake. That evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted the Department of Justice and requested that an FBI agent meet him at the Mar-a-Lago Club the next day, June 3rd, so that he could turn over the documents to the May 11th subpoena. Responsive to the May 11th subpoena. Also that evening, Trump Attorney 1 contacted another Trump Attorney 3, and asked her if she would come to Mar-a-Lago Club next morning to act as a custodian of records and sign a certification. You sign this. I'm not signing it. He made a plucking motion. This is not my problem anymore. Jesus Christ. Search for documents, classification markings in response to that. Trump Attorney 3, whom had no role in the review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, agreed. Sucker! The next day, on June 3rd, 2022, at Trump Attorney 1's request, Trump Attorney 3 signed a certification of the custodian records of the office of Donald J. Trump and took it to the Mar-a-Lago Club to provide it to the Department of Justice and FBI. In the certification, Trump Attorney 3, who performed no search of Trump's boxes, had not reviewed the May 11 subpoena and had not reviewed the contents of the Redwell folder, stated, among other things, that based upon the information that had been provided to her, A, diligent search was conducted of the boxes that were moved from the White House to Florida. B, this search was conducted after receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any and all documents that were responsive to the subpoena. And C, any and all responsive documents accompany this certification. These statements were false because, among other reasons, Trump had directed Nauta to move boxes before the Trump Attorney 1's review so that many boxes were not searched and many documents responsible to the May 11 subpoena could not be found, and in fact were not found by Trump Attorney 1. Shortly after Trump Attorney 3 executed the false certification, ouch, on June 3rd, Trump Attorney 1 and 2 met, Thing 1 and Thing 2, met at Trump Mar-a-Lago Club with personnel from the Department of Justice and FBI. Trump Attorney 1 and 3 turned over the Redwell folder containing documents with classification markings, as well as the false certification signed by Trump Attorney 3 as custodian of records. Trump, who had delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club, joined Trump Attorney 1 and 3 for some of the meeting. Trump claimed to the Department of Justice and FBI that he was, quote, an open book. Earlier that day, Nauta and others loaded several of Trump's boxes along with other items on an aircraft that flew Trump and his family north for the summer. The court authorized search of Mar-a-Lago. In July 2022, the FBI and grand jury obtained and reviewed surveillance video from the Mar-a-Lago Club showing the movement of boxes set forth above. On August 8th, the FBI executed a court-authorized search warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club. The search warrant authorized the FBI to search for and seize, among other things, all documents with classification markings. During the execution of the warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club, the FBI seized 102 documents with classification markings in Trump's office and storage room as follows. Trump's office, 27 documents, 6 top secret, 18 secret, 3 confidential. Storage room, 75 documents. Top secret, 11. Secret, 36. Confidential, 28. The willful retention of national defense information. Counts 1 through 31. The fruits of crime, don't you know? The fruits counts 1 through 31. Dig in, kids. The general allegations of this indictment are re-alleged and fully incorporated here by reference. On or about the date set forth in the table above in Palm Beach County in the Southern District of Florida and elsewhere, the defendant, Donald J. Trump, having unauthorized possession of, access to, and control over documents related to the national defense, did willfully retain the documents and failed to deliver them to the office and employee of the United States entitled to receive them, that is, Trump, without authorization, retained at the Mar-a-Lago Club, documents relating to the national defense, including the following. 1. January 20th to August 8th, 21 to 22, top secret, no foreign, special handling. Document dated May 3rd, 2018, concerning White House intel briefing related to various foreign countries. Number 2, top January, the time will be the same on these because it's from when to when. And then the time will change later after on some of these things that he, I guess, turned over this is all the stuff that was after he allegedly, he said, I'm an open book and we gave everything, because that's when it became a crime. When he ceased to be cooperating and was lying and holding these things. So all the other documents that he shouldn't have had access to and that might be fucking missing, that's another story. We'll see if he gets there. But they're all January 20th, 2021 to August 8th, 2022. The last day he could have declassified to when they searched Mar-a-Lago. Document dated May 9th, 2018 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to various foreign countries. So he's stealing PDBs. It looks like. Undated document concerning military capabilities of foreign country in the United States with handwritten annotation in black marker. Document dated May 6, 2019 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to foreign countries, including military activities and planning of foreign countries. Document dated June 2020 concerning nuclear capabilities of a foreign country. Document dated June 4, 2020 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to various foreign countries. Document dated October 21st, 2018 concerning communication with the leader of a foreign country. Document dated October 4th, 2019 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. By the way, they're not making a case whether these folks are allies or enemies. And in many ways, it's bad if an enemy knows what we know about their capabilities, but they know their capabilities, so it's kind of immaterial. It is very different if these are allies and he's showing this to enemies. That's way scarier. and way more in line with the kind of shit he's wont to do. Undated document concerning military attacks by foreign country. Document dated November 2017 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Undated document concerning military contingency plan of the United States. Pages of undated document concerning projected regional military capabilities of foreign country and the United States. Undated document concerning military capabilities of foreign country and the United States. Document dated January 2020 concerning military options of a foreign country and potential effects on the United States interests. Document dated February 2020 concerning policies in a foreign country. Document dated December 2019 concerning foreign country support of terrorist acts against the United States interests. Let's see, document dated January 2020 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Document dated March 2020 concerning military operations against the United States forces and others. Undated document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States. Number 19, kids. Undated document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States. That's a biggie. That's going to be hard to recover from. That's going to be a rough one, even amongst the people who want to support him, want to gargle his balls at every turn. Undated document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States. Marked secret, formerly classified DATA. Basically, it's older information, but still secret. Okay. Top secret, undated document concerning timeline details of attack in a foreign country. Secret, no foreign, meaning no foreign intelligence, no foreigners can see this. Undated document concerning military capabilities of foreign countries. Document dated 2019 concerning regional military activities of a foreign country. Document dated August 30th, 2019 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to foreign countries with handwritten annotations in black marker. Meaning that not only is this stuff in there, this top secret, special handling, but it also had extra notes in there of stuff that may have been said but not written down. Undated document concerning military activity of a foreign country. Document dated October 24, 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries and the United States. Document dated November 7th, 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries in the United States. Document dated November 2019 concerning military activity of foreign countries. Document dated October 18th, 2019 concerning White House intelligence briefing related to various countries. Document dated October 18, 2019 concerning military capabilities of a foreign country. Document dated October 15, 2019 concerning military activity in a foreign country. Document dated February 2017 concerning military activity in a foreign country. All in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 793E. Count 32. The general allegations of this indictment are realigned and fully incorporated here by reference. Conspiracy and its objects. The conspiracy. Oh, fuck, man. No collusion, just conspiracy. The conspiracy and its objects. From on or about May 11th, 2022, through in or around August 2022, in Palm Beach County, in South District of Florida, and elsewhere, the defendants, Donald Trump and Walt Nauta, did knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree with each other and with others known and unknown to the grand jury to engage in misleading conduct toward another person and corruptly persuade another person to withhold a record, document, and other object from an official proceeding. That's where they bullshit attorney number 3. To abruptly conceal a record, document, and other object from official proceeding. And of course, hide from attorney 2 and keep attorney 1 from even coming by. Or no, well, the other way around. Keep attorney 2 from coming by and having attorney 1 look through the shit after they've moved stuff. The purpose of the conspiracy. The purpose of the conspiracy was for Trump to keep classified documents he had taken with him from the White House and to hide and conceal them from the federal grand jury. The manner and means of the conspiracy. The manner and means by which the defendants sought to accomplish the objects and purpose of the conspiracy included, among other things, the following. Suggesting that Trump Attorney 1 falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the May 11 subpoena. Moving boxes of documents to conceal them from Attorney 1, the FBI, and the grand jury. C. Suggesting that Trump Attorney 1 hide or destroy documents called for by the May 11 subpoena. D. Providing the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the May 11 subpoena, while Trump claimed he was cooperating fully. E. Causing a false certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury representing that all documents with classification markings had been produced, when in fact they had not. And F, making false and misleading statements to the FBI, all in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1512K. Okay? Count 33. Ha, 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 ha. 33. The general allegations of this withholding a document or record. We know when. Walt Nauta and Donald Trump did knowingly engage in misleading conduct towards another person, knowingly corruptly persuade and attempt to persuade another person with intent to cause and induce any person to withhold a record, document, or other object from official proceeding. That means bullshitting your attorney into lying on a document with the knowledge of another person that's provable. Trump attempted to persuade Trump Attorney 1 to hide and conceal documents from the federal grand jury, and 2, Trump and Nauta misled Attorney 1 by moving boxes that contained documents with classifications so that the Trump Attorney 1 could not find the documents and produce them to the federal grand jury, all in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Sections 1512, B, 2, A, and 2. Count 34. Corruptly concealing a document or record. The general allegations of this document are realigned. Donald Trump and Walt Nauta did corruptly conceal a document and other object and attempt to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity and availability for use in an official proceeding. That is, Trump and Nauta hid and concealed boxes that contained documents with classification markings from Attorney 1 so that Trump Attorney 1 would not find the documents and produce them to a federal grand jury. All in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Sections 1512, C, 1, and 2. Count 35. Remember when this was 7 counts earlier? No, okay. The general allegations earlier. Donald Trump and Walt Nauta did knowingly conceal, cover up, falsify, and make false entry in any record or document and tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, and influence the investigation and proper administration of any matter within the jurisdiction of the Department and agency of the United States and in relation to and contemplation of any such matter. That is, during a federal criminal investigation being conducted by the FBI, Trump and Nauta hid, concealed, covered up from the FBI Trump's continued possession of documents with classification markings at the Mar-a-Lago Club, and 2, Trump caused a false certification to be submitted to the FBI. All in violation of Title 18, United States Code Sections 1519 and 2. 36. Donald Trump and Walt Nauta, in a matter within the jurisdiction of the judicial branch and executive branch of the United States government, did knowingly and willfully falsify, conceal, and cover up by any trick, scheme, and device. Ooh, you schemy, tricky dick. Device hold on one second. Let's see.
I've been involved in the 2 greatest scams in American history.
In a matter within the jurisdiction of the judicial branch and executive branch of the United States government, did knowingly and willfully falsify, conceal, cover up by any trick, scheme, or device a material fact. That is, during a federal grand jury investigation and a federal criminal investigation being conducted by the FBI, Trump and Nauta hid and concealed from the grand jury and the FBI Trump's continued possession of documents with classification markings, all in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Sections 1001, A1 and 2. False statements and representations. Donald Trump. Ooh, that Walt doesn't even get a ride along in this one. You know?
Here I am like an idiot.
In a matter within the jurisdiction of the judicial branch and the executive branch, I'll say it right. I'm reading very fast. Judicial branch and executive branch of the United States government did knowingly and willfully make and cause to be made materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement about the fruits of crime. And representation. That is, during a federal grand jury investigation and a federal crime investigation being conducted by the FBI, Trump caused the following false statements and representations to be made to the grand jury and the FBI in a sworn certification executed by Trump Attorney 3. A, diligent search. This is the stuff we saw before that she admitted to, which he instructed her. He set up the situation where she unknowingly lied. Now, a message addendum note side. As an attorney, you should not sign these documents and documents like this unless you participated in that. And if somebody who participated in the search is saying you sign it, I'm not gonna say I was there. I saw what happened. You sign it. Just say we told you what they said. They're setting you up, dum. So, all right. The statements and representations set forth above were false, as Trump knew, because Trump had directed the boxes to be removed from the storage room before Trump Attorney 1 conducted the June 2nd, 2022 search for documents with classification markings, so that Trump Attorney 1's search would not and did not include all of Trump's boxes that were removed from the White House. Trump attorney one's search would not and did not locate all documents responsive. By the way, congratulations on folks on being the few people in the world right now who've had this whole thing read to them. You're welcome. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. All right. Responsive to the May 11th subpoena, and all responsive documents were not provided to the FBI and the grand jury with certification. In fact, after June 3rd, 2022, more than 100 documents with classification markings remained at the Mar-a-Lago Club until the FBI search on August 8th, all in violation of Title 18, U.S. Code, Sections 1001, A2, and 2. Count 38, false statements and representations. Here's where Walt gets his own ride alone. The general allegations, blah, 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 participated in the voluntary... Okay, on May 26, 2022, Nauta participated... I could speak. I'm reading way too fast. Participated in a voluntary interview with the FBI. During the interview, the FBI explained to Nauta that the FBI was investigating how classified documents had been kept at the Mar-a-Lago Club, and the FBI asked Nauta questions about the location and movement of Trump's boxes before Trump provided 15 boxes to NARA on January 17, 2022. Nauta was represented by counsel, and the FBI advised Nauta that the interview was voluntary and that he could leave at any time. The FBI also advised Nauta that it was a criminal offense to lie to the FBI. The interview was recorded. On or about May 26, 2022, in Palm Beach County, in the Southern District of Florida and elsewhere, the defendant, Walt Nauta, in a matter within the jurisdiction of the executive branch of the United States government, did knowingly and willfully make a materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement and representation. That is, in a voluntary interview during a federal criminal investigation being conducted by the FBI, Nauta was asked the following questions and gave the following false answers. Are you aware of any boxes being brought to his home, his suite? No. All right. I'm not going to say this is a misread. I'm not, it's underlined. These are his answers. No. And then, by the way, 3 more dots because they talk about this is stuff that's redacted. Question. All right. So to the best of your knowledge, you're saying that those boxes that you brought onto the truck, first time you ever laid eyes on them, was just the day of when Trump employee 2 needed you to, correct, to take them. Okay. Question. In knowing that we're trying to track the life of these boxes and where they could have been kept and stored and all that kind of stuff, do you have any information that could help us understand, like where they were kept, how they were kept, were they secured, were they locked? Something that makes the intelligence community feel better about these things, you know? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know. He honestly did know. He knew a lot. As a matter of fact, he was the fucker who moved them. And what, redacted, and what, or this is just other parts of the interview. Like they moved on. These are just relevant parts, but there's a whole interview. There's a whole transcript. This lets you know. And what? So you only saw the 17 boxes. The day of the move, even they just showed up that day. They were in Pine Hall. Trump employee 2 just asked me like, hey, can we move some boxes? Okay. And I was like, okay. So you didn't know, you had no idea how they got there before? No. The underscored statements and representations were false, as Nauta knew because, 1, Nauta did in fact know that the boxes in Pine Hall had come from the storage room, as Nauta himself, with the assistance of Trump employee 2, had moved the boxes from the storage room to Pine Hall. And 2, Nauta had observed the boxes in and moved them to various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Like, there was never a time when the majority of these boxes were moved that Nauta wasn't involved in moving them. And this motherfucker says, no. There's video, you dumb... Oh. And then a true bill, whatever, they redacted the name of the foreperson of the grand jury. This is indicative of what they said and what the grand jury said. And here's Jack Smith's signature on there. And then the last 4 payments pages is the kind of jurisdictional stuff. How long, United States of America versus Donald Trump and Walt Nauta, and they're together. Oh God, please, let them both be sitting there. So Trump and his body man have to both sit there. Ugh. 10 minutes till Jack speaks. Okay. Oh, am I missing it already? Am I borrowing your time? All right, we got through it, though. I'm just saying. Jack Smith will be speaking at 3 p.m. Eastern time today. Woohoo! Yeah, so please, Hal is reading the entire thing to us, a professional actor. That's pretty good. Presser in 5 minutes. Okay. Yes, okay. We're almost there. The last part of it. Okay. Let's see. This is the West Palm Beach is the court division where they filed it. New defendant. No. They're not adding anybody. The case will take 21 days for the parties to try. So they're expecting good 3 weeks plus for a month with a couple of days off. Oh, and here they go. Defendant case number 1, counts 1 through 31. Willful retention. This 18 U.S.C. Max term 10 years. Mandatory minimum of prison if applicable, not applicable. Max supervised release 3 years. Max fine $250,000. Count 32. Max term of imprisonment 20 years. Mandatory minimum imprisonment not applicable. Max supervised release 3 years. Max fine $250,000. Count 33. Max term of imprisonment 20 years. Max supervised release 3 years. Okay. 34. Corruptly concealing a document or record 20 years in jail. Count 35. Total term of imprisonment 20 years. Count 36, term of imprisonment, 5 years. Phew, let's take it down. Count 37, false statements represented, 5 years. Defendant's name, Walt Nauta. 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 20 years, 5 years, 5 years. That's the, oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 counts for him. And I think the reason why people were like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7, and they're grouping his sentencing in counts 1 through 31 of the indictment. That 1 through they're counting this as 1. Willful retention of national defense or information. So it's like a big pile of the shit. He knew he was doing this one crime, even if it involved a lot of separate documents. You can't imprison somebody for each page. Is the idea of the secrets that they were doing, right? Somebody should tell this to fucking Assange so he can come over here and face justice like Reality Winner did and like Chelsea Manning did and fucking stood up for what they believed in. Fuck that dude. Anyways, there you go. We're out. I went an hour long, but that's okay because you guys are wonderful. And I'll let you guys go. You guys can all go watch the remaining stuff. And it's going to be the trial of the century. It's going to be the trial of the century. And I will see you guys later on this afternoon. Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Holy shit, I got to go watch the thing too. This will be fucking cool. And oh, one more thing.